Is it, do we need to hit a button on it, or? Okay.
Hello!
We didn't get a chance to
Welcome back, world.
We didn't get a chance to, check it either. I don't know if we...
It looks like it's working now.
Oh, is it? Do we just now start?
Well, yes.
Oh, hi there.
Yes, welcome to Uranium Chef, a Fate World supplement by Evil Hat, in which all of our players will play contestants on a intergalactic reality TV show where they cook weird space dishes made from secret ingredients that they will have to catch within the kitchen arena.
Yes.
And it will be glorious and wacky. Hitchhikers Guide to the Galaxy meets Iron Chef.
Can't wait. A nuclear-powered cupboard kitchen.
Yes. So, we're all going to create characters in this episode 0, and but I want to set the stage with our opening scene. In this world, in this galaxy, that there are... this sport, this competitive cooking sport, has become so big on TV that it has launched in the same way that like wrestling has all these, pro wrestling has all these local chapters and whatnot of local performers. There's all these brackets of competitive cooks, right, of competitive arena chefs, to such a degree that in the seedy underbelly of society there are illegal black market kitchen stadiums in which particularly deadly ingredients are used to craft highly illegal and dangerous dinners that very wealthy patrons will spend a lot of money on because they're buying up dishes that have been crafted of like nearly extinct creatures that would otherwise be illegal. And so you are all competing in one such underground arena.
Awesome. And backyard. Like backyard wrestling.
In the red corner, coming in at 183 kilos.
So I want you to think about when you're crafting kind of a concept for your character, and I'll walk you guys through the whole process, but keep in the back of your mind, why am I competing in this? Is it because you owe a whole lot of money and you're desperate to pay that back? Is it because you've been blacklisted by some really famous Uranium Chef contestant? Have you been kicked out of some kind of fancy restaurant and you're climbing your way back up the social ladder? Just keep some of those thoughts in your mind of like, why am I putting everything on the line to compete in this illegal, crazy arena, right? So, we'll start with bioform is the high concept is the first aspect, right?
Okay.
So the high concept is going to be a combination of your bioform, which is your species or life form, like human, robot, Martian, cyborg, sentient plant, hologram. There's also various tables that we can roll on from Masters of Undar that provides crazy bioform tables, or you can just pick one. So that's the first half of your high concept is like, I am a sentient plant. And then the second half is the culinary style. So it's the type of food that you specialize in. Did you attend a culinary school where you learn fancy dishes, work in your mother's fry shop? Are you a vagabond fusion chef of the many worlds? Examples include home cooking, sushi chef, pastry chef, cold fusion, paleo, alpha centaurian. So you can feel free to make up at any point any crazy dish that you want. There is, in the way that Fate can be, there is no mechanical tie to any of these. You could just say it's Cantonese or whatever, right? You can just totally make up your own. There's no mechanical tie to any of this stuff. So examples that they have is home cooking android, or Hasisterf cooking human, or mushroom man sushi chef. Are there ideas people are kicking around?
I literally just want to be Frieza. I was like, galactic space warlord, probably a gray. This is considered just another conquest for him, and he has exquisite taste. So I'm just trying to think of like what kind of like would he be a sommelier or sommelier? I don't know, but I think he would be more of maybe a French chef if anything. If it's not a sommelier, it's probably a French chef.
He's conquered so many worlds and taken in so many different styles of cooking from all those worlds that now he just like has dedicated himself to being a chef.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know, the Alpha Centaurian or Cold Fusion sounds really interesting. I think Cold Fusion is more for like if you're a robot, so maybe Alpha Centaurian? I'm just gonna make up like, I don't know.
Let me print out this little dish appendix thing because it has spacey adjectives that you can add to things like Angorian or Glucakian or Gamma Space Carcosian Quantum Nexus stuff like that. So 56.
I know glue cakes are a bit gauche, but you know, I love to spoil my guests. I guess if you did the Japanese, it'd be like,
very good.
The required anime laugh.
My high concept I'm going with is a race that I'm making up called the Voratarum, which most often have 4 arms and just a single head, but every now and again they are born with 2 heads. So my character has 2 heads and will be arguing with themselves constantly.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I think the high achievement of any Voratarum, twin-headed Voratarum, is to like find this perfect like synchronicity between them. But I think my character is like not that. Maybe, I don't know, I'm still working through what their on-air persona is and stuff like that, but I think they want to come across as very like balanced and like we are one and whatever, but they're constantly bickering with each other and kind of fucking things up for each other. They're each controlling like 2 of the arms or something, so they gotta work together, you know?
Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah, and I think a pastry chef, because the Voratarum cannot. They just literally can't experience spice. They don't like pick up. They don't have like capsaicin receptors, but they do. They have like an exquisite tongue for sweets. So
excellent.
Awesome.
that means
exquisite
you
tongues.
potentially put some really spicy stuff in there that could kill someone. You never know.
I'm just burning. They're
Like, it's fine to me.
I don't know.
high concept again is
Your bioform, like your race,
Yeah.
or species, or whatnot, and then the style of chef that you are. So Josh, you're saying you're a Voran
Pastry chef.
A Voran pastry chef is like your high concept.
I think Martian for me is the closest it's gonna get. I would start with your name, dude.
I have no idea.
Gregory Hoovesworth. Yeah, I'm a centaur, so that's half of my character.
Centaur.
Yeah, so his name's Gregory Hoovesworth.
And he's a horse centaur.
Yes, for sure. I'm just imagining him being a horse nude from, waist down, obviously, but then, up as, like a human body, but, always wearing, a tuxedo, and but it's, the penguin tail tuxedo, so it goes along his horseback for a while.
Yes. And it just splits right at his tail.
Yes. Monocle, and, specializes in, very bitter salads and soups. Sort of like
I knew you were going to choose bitter.
sort of like it's like, I was thinking, but also I was thinking horses eat, damn, grass all day.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so much, plant junk. So probably I guess that's sort of like an appetizer-y sort of, or pre-meal sort of chef.
What are chefs that specialize in salads?
Soups and salads.
It's not a sous chef, is it?
Soup chef.
Soup chef. My character would not laugh at that.
Oh, sorry. Understandable.
A potager.
Potager.
Potager. What is this type of person?
Oh wait. Yeah, the soup and often stock cook. A vegetable cook is called an entremetier.
Entremetier.
Who prepares vegetables, soups, starches, and eggs. Large kitchens may divide these duties among the vegetable cook, the fry cook, and the soup cook. I love that all these names are in French.
Yeah.
I literally just searched for chefs specializing in salads and soups, and the first thing that came up was chef title descriptions from What's Cooking America.
How did you know I was gonna choose bitter? Joshua.
Pages, actually.
Because you're obsessed with bitter flavors in real life. As soon as I saw it there, I knew it was.
I thought it'd be funny if this giant horse was like a pastry chef, but then I was like, nah. There it is.
Yeah.
Steven.
So I was just kind of playing off, some of the examples there and stuff. So I was thinking a Cassiopean Hogman, who is a galley chef, used to be the galley chef for intergalactic pirate ship,
Yes.
which has since disbanded. He specializes in probably soups and stews and just kind of hodgepodging things together.
Yes.
I think, because spending time out in space, having to wing it.
And you said he's a hogsman. Is he a?
Yeah, so he's like a big. I can tell you, he's about 6 feet tall. He's got like a short cut mohawk. He's like half warthog, like a humanoid warthog with a nose ring. He wears. That is no. Think about it. That's a good. That is good imagery, minus the glasses and less 80s.
Yeah. Okay.
But he wears an apron, just the apron, and some like black and red pinstripe pants, some black boots, and he's just covered in like grease all the time and warts and hair.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just disgusting. You wouldn't want him to make your food, but he'd surprise you.
Yeah.
But you said he works as a line cook on a space pirate ship?
Well, he was the cook for the whole ship. He was the galley cook. I mean, every once in a while they'd have they'd pick up some people off the other ships when they'd pirateer. Is that
Raid?
raid?
I don't know.
Raiding?
Yeah.
Privateers?
Yeah.
Galactic
Okay. So when
conquest.
they'd raid the other ships, they'd sometimes take some prisoners, and he'd have those help in the kitchen and stuff. But most of the time,
Or chop them up.
they didn't know what was going on, and they were intentionally trying to screw it up. So he was always a little wary of them. Didn't really want them to help anyway.
Why did So you said he's former cook. Why did he leave?
Well, basically the whole ship had to disband since heat was getting to them and stuff. So, yeah, they thought it'd be easier to disband and do multiple different, like everybody kind of go join up with other, right? It's hard. You can't, like, what are they going to do? Go after everyone on the ship? We're spread across the galaxy. They'll never come from it.
Keith, can you make the chat like scroll downward? It's showing more messages below. It just needs to be
Perhaps you'll
scrolled
prove
down
yourself
so that
worthy for my latest line cook on my my royal ship.
You guys might have to monitor the chat a little closer than I am because I've got a lot of windows open going on here. So I'm missing.
They're watching. I was just texting them.
Oh, are you watching this? I'm so
One out of
sorry.
2 French majors is skeptical.
That's what I was about. That's why I was asking how to pronounce this. Entremetier.
Yeah, we might need some official French major pronunciation.
Wait, how's it spelled?
Entremetier.
Well, the end is TA.
Entremetier.
Entremetier?
Maybe.
Yeah. Entremetier.
That's it. That's it. You just
They're gonna be judging us. Just know that.
Well, I'm trying my hardest, so.
never mispronounce things.
So high concept can be classy, centurion, I'm trying my best.
Perfect.
Just eat peanut butter before every time that you read your.
Yes.
Taylor, do you got a high concept?
Oh yeah, shoot. I was just writing that down. So I'm thinking So I'm a gray, I guess, or Martian. But I'm a Martian, maybe space pirate or warlord. What do you think would make
Warlord.
sense? Warlord,
I
then.
like the warlord thing.
So
yeah.
Martian intergalactic warlord.
Just obnoxious laugh through the end of that.
Correct, Taylor. Wait, correct what? I don't know what was correct.
Your laugh.
Oh,
At the end
yes.
of the word.
And then usually if you want to add emphasis, you go,
Killed it.
Martian warlord.
Definitely.
But what kind of chef?
What kind of chef?
I'll break out my
Gosh,
cocktail.
I didn't. I was just gonna say French chef, but like there's so many French chefs. Classy, high class.
Bread cook, candy cook, fish cook, deep fry cook, grill cook.
Well, I'd say Alpha Centaurian, but is that really answering the question? I don't know.
Style of
That's
cooking.
kind of a style of cooking, but I
Yeah.
don't know about.
When we say that, what do we mean?
I've never heard. Is that a style of cooking?
No, it's a
It's like
fictional
you're
one.
like French, British, whatever. You're like Alpha Centaurian. It's this
From that
region in
star?
space.
I
Okay,
see.
gotcha.
Yeah, he said he had a sheet of like terms I could
Yeah,
reference.
I printed it. Let me grab it real quick.
Unless you want me to stay grounded in reality for this one.
Well, are you a Martian or are you an Alpha Centaurian?
It's Martian, but I don't know. It's like shorthand because people are gonna be like. They'll be like, oh, are you green? I'll be like, that's actually a misconception, as you can clearly see. My skin is more of an eggshell.
What is green? Green to my eyes.
Oh, I forgot to tell you my character's name. Truffles.
You wouldn't want him to make
That's obviously a nickname.
but he'll surprise you.
Yep.
That's obviously the nickname he was given.
I love it.
I'm digging these characters thus far.
You would address me as Lord Dufour.
I did forget to tell you,
Hold on, let me listen to you. Dufour.
Keith, I told you about my
Sorry,
character, but I didn't give him a name. He just goes by Truffles.
Lord Congelator.
Is his signature dish the truffle shuffle?
Yes.
Well, you'll just have to find out.
Congelator Dufour.
Can't be pulling out all my secret ingredients right out.
Truffle shuffle!
Alright, this, I printed out two of
Gonna be
these.
bad.
It's,
You would want him to
4 or so
exterminate your
pages
race,
long, but
but you'll love his cooking. Find out tonight.
you've got a dish appendix in the front here with adjectives, spacey adjectives. So if you feel like you're trying to come up with a concept for a spacey thing, they suggest just being like picking from this list. You're like, it's a solar souffle, and you just put like a spacey adjective next to an actual. And then here's dishes on the next page, like example dishes and like how hard they believe that they are. So if you're trying to make something really hard, you could whatever. That it's all. And then there's examples of the different tastes, flavors, and dish examples.
Freeze's
so,
favorite food.
so I got two of those that you can work with. But everybody's got their high concept.
Yeah.
All right, so your next step is your carrot, which is why you want to compete. Uranium Chef is a lethally dangerous show with contestants risking life, limb. What urge is greater than your fear of death? Is it money, fame, validation, revenge? We recommend you think of a specific reason, but write down the aspect in a more general way. So they have one that's like, I want revenge, or I want to be the best. But I'm challenging you guys to go to the next level because we're starting out in this like seedy underbelly world that I want to tangle in with the high reality TV show stuff as well. So why are you competing? This could be something really great that you hope to achieve, like a positive thing, or it could be a negative thing that you're trying to escape, right? That you're like, I owe a whole bunch of money, or like I have a bad reputation after this bout with some other chef or something like that.
Oh yes, I got my answer. How to pronounce this? Sophie says you're nailing it, Josh. Say it again.
What can I say? I have to see the word in order to say it.
Well, how am I ever gonna learn it?
I don't know.
Enchantier.
Entrametier.
Entramatier.
Alright, so Steven's character is called Truffles. Josh, what is your character's name? Do you have one yet?
Entramantier.
You got one, Taylor?
You will address me as Lord Congelator.
Can you spell that for me, please?
C-O-N G-E-L-A-T. There's a U with an accent, but you don't have to put that, and then an R. And you have to put Lord in front of it.
Okay. C-O-N-G-E-L-A-T-U-R.
Thank you.
Cock this one up and I'll exterminate your whole race.
Excellent.
Did you have it? You know,
Hopefully that fits on the overlay.
I don't know. I mean, I have two names.
Which I think is called.
true.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what they are yet. I mean, I think my carrot essentially is money, the huge cash purse that you can get for winning this. But the purpose is that I think my characters want to be scientifically, surgically removed from one another because they actually really hate each other. But it's extremely expensive. So the only way they can hope to do that is by winning a cooking show.
Perfect. Is there a abbreviation for Lord? LD?
I don't know, that's a good question.
Can I call you Lord? But on the overlay it just says.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Or you could say well, no, it's Congelator. Congelator. Lord.
All right, and Josh or Daniel, you got a name for your characters?
Not yet.
My character's name is Gregory Hoovesworth.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Gregory Hoovesworth.
Interest me is
Can I put
Gregory Hoovesworth.
He does not have a Barney voice.
You mean Barney Rubble, or you mean Barney?
Barney as in the giant dinosaur.
No, Barney the giant dinosaur is like, I love you.
It's like the same thing you were just doing.
No, it's completely different. And Barney's like, no wait, that's actually Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear's like, hey boo boo, how you doing? Let's get us some picnic baskets. Is it too late to change to Yogi Bear?
I mean, you haven't nailed your voice down yet. Alright, you guys got carrots? Carrot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm debating between one or the other, but I'm ready. I can't decide if I want to create the most dangerous dish in the world.
Ooh.
In hopes of trying to feed it to an unsuspecting race of people that I need to exterminate.
I like that. Yeah.
excellent.
That could also tie into your secret.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
But the carrot, yeah, I think cooking the most dangerous.
Cook the most dangerous. Huh?
Yes.
Oh, did someone record that for you?
I think you had it though, Josh.
Alright, Steven, what was your carrot?
I think Truffles is trying to win some money between raiding parties so that he can save up enough to eventually get off of the sea and get out of the life and open up his own tavern/supery.
Supery?
Tavern and Super.
Tavern and supery. Yeah.
His own bar and grill. Supery.
Cool. I like that.
I'm going to save that. I'm going to hold on to this other idea I have just in case.
Well, we'll get to some like secrets that are like your
Yeah, okay, it'll work
more
great
like
for that.
trouble.
Yeah. Let's do that.
My carrot is that I can't be bothered by the rules of society and will cook whatever I want.
Yes.
I'm beginning to respect you, Lord Gregory Hoovesworth.
Everyone does.
Josh, what's your carrot?
Money for laser disc conjoinment surgery.
Disconjoyment.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a word, but I'm saying it is.
All right,
That's what this
we're gonna skip
Laser mini disc.
Yeah, well, I like disconjoyment.
disc conjoinment surgery of these two sides. We're gonna skip on-air persona and fill that in at a future session because we're gonna start like not on TV. You guys haven't established your reality TV on-air persona, right? So we can do that at a later point.
Oh, mine's Guy Fieri. Already decided.
One of the ones in Flavor Town.
Come on, now that's gonna be a great warthog.
Welcome to Flavor
It
Town.
already looks like my character.
One of the example characters is like a salamander who does like spicy foods, and he's wearing like the fiery shirt and has like the spiky. so
Very clearly.
Totally.
That's awesome.
I did do another aspect. I don't know if we should at this point, but
The last one is going to be a deep secret. So if you have a good idea for a deep secret,
for other aspect instead of
yeah, you could do that as the one that says other aspect. And I think connection is a helpful one that we can do to connect your characters together.
Can we tell our other aspects or like our deep secret?
You can keep your deep secret. Yeah, you don't have to share it.
But it's so funny. Like,
As long as everyone promises not to metagame, then yeah.
I'm just so afraid it won't ever come out. And
Then share it. Put it out into the universe.
I think my character's deep secret is that he's not actually a superstar.
But two men?
it's a person sitting on a horse.
Oh my god, is he a piece of pantomime centaur?
Yeah, he's like has somehow just fit himself into like a robot or like, but he's really well disguised. Or yeah, it's a two people in a horse suit.
That is perfect. So good. Oh my god. Well, examples they give are kicked out of culinary school, son of an infamous warlord, faked my own death. So you guys can use those as.
Mine's I want to exterminate a certain rival who's on the judges panel.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right, we can figure
Awesome.
that one out.
Also, I secretly wish to open a cereal bar.
Oh,
And then
but you don't feel like it's tough enough, so you're a little bit afraid to.
No, I don't feel like it's refined enough. That's the thing. I really love cereal bars, but I'm too refined because I'm a warlord.
cereal, like bowls of cereal.
Yeah, it's like bowls of cereal. Yeah.
Oh god.
I really just want to open a cereal bar.
Yeah, I think you could leave.
Just
Frozen yogurt. Yeah, I really want to open a froyo.
Froyo stand.
Cryogenic froyo.
Froyo kiosk.
Cold fusion froyo.
Fusion froyo.
Oh, froyo.
All right. Well, we can come back to connection at a later point. That'll connect you to the other characters, and it might be helpful to let that kind of naturally evolve in the course of the narrative. So we'll stick with the aspects that we have right now. You guys should all have a high concept, a carrot, and then a secret, which is under other aspects. Does that sound right?
That's what yeah.
Okay, so then you have two sets of approaches in this. Reality approaches are going to be what you use for like basically everything that isn't cooking. So if you're interacting with someone, if you're fighting, if you're doing anything that isn't cooking a dish, you will use reality approaches. And you get to put a number in each of these. You get one good, which is a +3. 2, this is right under where it says reality approaches. You get 2 at a +2, 2 at a +1, and 1 at a 0. So you think about what kind of a character is that you're building here in their life and whatnot. And if you have questions about like what is flashy versus what is careful or something, let me know.
Would it be more clever?
I don't know what to do with my secret. I feel like I had such a good aspect that I can't use because it's not a secret.
Well, can we have multiple aspects or no?
Could the
Just one?
secret be maybe that one of them doesn't want to be removed. And it's trying to hide that from the other. It's actually only one of them that wants to date.
Yeah. And the other one's like, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to get away from you.
they're just so people pleasing. They secretly like they love them like a brother or a sister. I don't know.
I agree with Viata completely.
Wearing nothing but a yeah, it certainly makes a statement.
Yes.
Or at least someone takes down a statement.
Flashy.
In the end, you'll have 5 aspects, Josh, and if you feel like it's a good aspect, then you can.
It doesn't fit anything else. It's fine. It was just other aspects was kind of like a generic like whatever. So I put in a like generic one, but there's no other place that it makes sense. So.
And if you've got your reality approaches filled in, then you do the same thing with your culinary approaches. And if you're wondering what like a bitter versus sour or whatnot, they have examples in the end of that little printout.
Okay.
So wait, it's 1 with a 3, 2 with 2s, and then 2. What is that? 1,
1, 3, 2.
and then that last one's a 0, right?
Yeah. 2, 1,
medium
and 0.
or something that's like completely not. What do you think? Would Frieza be more clever or would he be quick? I think he'd be quick.
Yeah, Frieza wasn't all that clever.
He really wasn't. He really wasn't.
There were so many times that he could have just went to his final form and killed everyone immediately, but instead he decided to slowly level up.
He did in like Super. He went straight to his final form. And then he went to oh, have you not seen Super?
Well, I mean, like, if he had just killed Goku immediately, Goku would have never become a Super Saiyan and beat him.
Yeah, but he was like, it was like a fine meal. You don't just like kill them all like
not clever.
The rest of them were like potato
culinary?
chips. This guy was like a fine
Cool.
steak.
Not clever.
You guys got all your numbers, your numbers filled in?
So he was definitely not careful. I can tell you that. If anything.
The last one is stunts, and it might be worth just playing before we decide on stunts. And there isn't a whole lot of examples. It's kind of taking this approach of crafting your own. So it might be a good thing to for us to like build it into the next session.
Yeah, I was looking at these and I'm like, where are they getting these?
Yeah, there's kind of a guideline for how to create stunts.
Gotcha.
That they're going on. So we could work on that next session. I think this is good enough to start. But our refresh will be 5 because we are starting with no stunts.
You guys having fun over there?
Yeah.
This is a no fun
You
zone.
want to share
Okay?
it?
Yeah, I decided that my chef names, because there's 2 names.
Yes.
But when there's a twin-headed Vortarum, they're often pronounced they're together. So my character's name is Val Vita. like Velveeta, but with an A instead. Val and Vita are the 2 heads.
Perfect.
I love it.
Awesome.
I just love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Fantastic.
All right, so everybody grab 5 tokens.
God.
Got our new fate tokens.
No.
Whoa. Party foul.
Throw the tokens.
Bless you.
Heroes Guild kids throwing the dice.
And
Oh, it was a 6.
I saw
Yeah.
it.
Oh man, every time. Every time. It is amazing that legitimately
it's always a 6.
50% of the time when they roll, at least one of the dice ends up on the table.
Yep.
And every other time,
you probably waste a solid 15 minutes of each day just with a kid getting up and going around the table and picking
Chasing
it up.
dice around.
And then telling you that he rolled a 6, and then you repeating for the millionth time that it
This is
doesn't
a
count.
four-sided die.
If it didn't- It's not even possible, kid.
Don't you have like a little box that could just like throw the dice in?
They
I
will
feel like
find a way
it
not
still
to make it in the
ricochets
box.
out of there, doesn't it?
They will find a way not to make it in the box.
If you're curious what we're talking about, check out on the stream Heroes Guild. Sorry, my computer is freezing up. On the channel, elsewhere, you can Google search the Heroes Guild Nashville, and you'll find it. I'm trying to post the link, but my computer's not cooperating.
Keith, you'd be proud to know that I killed one of my heroes at my table.
Oh,
Darn.
Dead.
baby, first
Yeah.
Oh.
And he took it pretty well.
They just re-roll for the rest
Man,
of
I've never had a character die.
We have
say that
a
out
guardian
loud.
spirit
Never
character
say
sheet.
that.
So
We'll
when
take it as
you
an
die, then you get the
attempt.
guardian
Challenge.
spirit sheet, and you can
Or
still
guys like watching
like kind of
one of you
things.
guys
You can still like heal your friends
Yeah.
and do other things.
the. Oh,
but
cool.
These
like your spirit like lingers to support
Gotcha.
your
That's
friends
awesome.
until they're done.
That's smart.
That was
Yeah,
Keith's idea.
we had that situation where several players died in the middle of a big boss fight, and then you just had these kids kind of mulling around the table that were like kind
waiting.
of
Like,
anxious
what do you do
energy.
now?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it'd be really cool if they could basically come back as a ghost and like help out a little bit and
Yeah.
still be engaged by everything. What was he into the idea of?
He was, but then the other thing that was funny was they were trying to get out of the labyrinth, and the ceiling was collapsing, so they were all taking damage from it. That's actually what he died from. And so then he was like, I don't want them to heal me. Like, I want them to get out. Right? I want them to leave me behind. So then I was like, you have to communicate with the living.
Yeah.
Right? And he rolled the first time and he failed. So I was like, you're just like... You're like trying to tell your friends to leave, but they can't understand you. But it was a minor action. So then he rolled again, and then he succeeded, and then he was like, "Leave me behind." And then the White Knight, it came to his turn, and it was his big decision of like, do you resurrect your friend? Like, you can only do it now. Do you go with his wishes to like leave you behind, or do you resurrect him?
Tough decisions.
Yeah,
Boy, these kids are really facing some trials.
it was great. It was great.
Definitely.
Yeah, and earlier in the session, the White Knight, he gave up all of his life to like resurrect this ancient wizard who had been a couple hundred years old. Because I told him you can't do it. He's been dead for too long. And then it was like, what if I sacrifice my character?
Whoa.
So then I was like, okay, you can make a last breath roll to see if you actually die or if you like linger at the brink, and he did. So I had some serious heroism going on at my table.
Yeah.
People sacrificing their characters for each other. It was really cool.
Alright.
Sidetrack.
Yeah, no, you're good.
That's some cool stuff,
Some
man.
serious
Good war
stuff.
stories.
Check out the Heroes Guild.
TheHeroesGuild.com.
I'm gonna throw down with some hardcore players, man. That's where you need to go.
www.heroesguild.com.
Yeah.
The Heroes Guild.
You didn't think about that for a second. I was like,
Well,
Yes.
well, I mean, just random people can't come in and join. It's only for kids.
right.
You want to come in and play some hardcore? I'm just imagining an adult showing up and being like, I was here for I heard you're killing some kids. I don't want to give anyone the wrong impression, okay? It's only open to kids. Yeah, exactly. Bunch of noobs.
God, haven't you min-maxed your characters yet?
Yeah.
You're not even playing a Tengu?
Yeah. Don't even use polyhedral dice.
Yeah, we'll save stunts. I think then we're basically done
Let's do it.
for the moment. I think. I'm sorry, I'm having
Double
technical
death.
issues here. Everybody, maybe roll off and we'll see if a pattern emerges for teams.
Matt, roll off.
2.
I'm gonna, what is that, -1? No? Yeah, negative.
Lowest, highest, and then 2 in the middle.
Ooh. Did we get?
I got 3 negatives.
How about -1?
I also have a -1.
I got a 2.
Let's put Josh and Daniel on the same team. All right, so you guys are in this
Horse win.
this very exquisite, very fancy club, but it's extremely shady, right? There were many secret handshakes and whatnot that these people are having to just like a high class space Applebee's.
Wait, I don't think that's a thing.
Hold on, Apple C's, so we don't get sued.
Space Applebee's is fine, but high class is really where I draw the line.
Callie would have thoughts about that one.
Yeah.
So it's there's tiered seating, right? And each rather than it being like stadium seating, it's kind of like medieval times, right? Where everybody's got their own like tables and they're all dining and having this fine dining experience. But they're all also using these. Everybody's well dressed and super fancy, and they're using these digital panels and also having bookies and whatnot moving through all these random different alien species of bookies that are slipping about through the audience, and there's all this money being exchanged. Everybody's wearing suits and ties and whatnot, but they're all here for the chance at being chosen as the random judge for this competition, so that they can sample what will, you don't necessarily know what the secret ingredient will be, but it is likely to be an extremely either nearly extinct species or something extremely deadly. So this is half gladiatorial kind of competition that they're witnessing. They're excited to maybe see people die of poisoning from some kind of deadly creature in the stadium. And you're all competing in this tournament, and so the lights go. You guys are all backstage. Your two groups, right? You're on like opposite ends of the arena, in your own private backstages, right? And the lights dim down, and the announcer comes out and starts speaking in a strange language that you don't quite understand, and then you hear like another language speaking, like someone else translating over their voice, and then another one over that. Whoa. And then after a moment of like everybody's like digital earbud technology syncing up with the correct, like everybody's changing their frequency or whatnot to get onto the right language so that they can follow what's going on. And the announcer's chewing up the scenery is actually a.
Are they literally chewing up the scenery?
Yeah, they're.
I guess we have to specify now that we're in playing Uranium Chef.
They are a sentient like.
What's the secret?
T-Rex, basically, who's walking around and holding the microphone like this and gesturing with the other.
He can't actually get the microphone up high enough to his head.
It's one of those really long, like, Bob
There's actually an even smaller lizard-like creature that's that's chasing him around.
But the Tyrannosaurus just has a giant smile on the whole time. It's like so charismatic because his mouth is so big.
He's got like a tiny little like red bow tie. That's the only thing he's wearing. He's just walking around.
No, I love that image.
Walking around the stage and like cutting up some jokes and whatnot, and welcoming particular dignitaries who are here and whatnot.
Yes.
And then says, without further ado, I'd like to welcome our brave contestants for their opening remarks. And you can come up with a team. You guys want to come up with team names for this particular?
oh man,
I don't know what our team name is.
I shall induct you into the Lord Congelators Royal Army.
Oh, that's quite nice, but you can be in Truffle's team.
I respectfully disagree. 3.
I mean, I feel like our team has
it together.
we have a lot of arms. and legs
Lord
going
Congelador.
on.
He's got a lot of limbs.
Limbs.
And then also lots of limbs is good. That's a good name.
Yeah, maybe just go with that. Lots of limbs.
Lots of limbs. Yeah, it's like land and legs.
Yeah.
Lots of limbs.
We just have a ton of arms and legs and heads and stuff.
Vayata was asking about Fate Accelerated versus Fate Core. It is a little different than Fate Core, but it's based on the Fate Core system.
Yeah, much of it's the same. The big difference is that in Fate Core, you're choosing skills, and so they're a little bit more specific about what your bonuses are in. So you're saying, I have my highest bonus, my plus 3 in shoot or fight or climb or whatnot. So they're a little bit more specific. Whereas in Fate Accelerated, we have approaches which are more general. Like in this instance of Fate Accelerated, we've got aggressive, flashy, careful, quick, clever, or sneaky. So whenever you're doing any kind of action, rather than being like, because this is I'm sneaking around, I'm gonna roll with my stealth, which is a particular skill. Instead, you're like describing the way that you're approaching the task. So you're saying, I'm doing this sneakily, and you can even attack or defend sneakily.
As long as it makes sense.
As long as it makes sense narratively, it's a little more flexible. So there's kind of the line of being like, I'm gonna shove this guy off the cliff. Flashily, and then you're like, I need you to maybe describe that a little bit more.
I go, ha-ha, as I do it.
I swing on a rope and strike.
As a centaur, I turn around
I don't have food on.
with my back feet and kick him off the ledge.
I just look real good when
People
I do
cheer.
And it's flashy.
And it's very flashy because of my bow tie.
I'm just curious, why do I look so good?
So the announcer is like, team many limbs.
Lotso limbs.
And the spotlight shines in your direction. You guys are still like just off stage. Spotlight shines in your direction, and it seems like two like firework sconches. Like one of them fires, and then the other one just sputters. And, like, the firework lands on the stage and lights a little bit of the carpet on fire.
Pyrotechnics. Great white all over again.
Top-notch production we're on.
Yeah. So do I need to like dodge this firework or anything?
No, you guys are. Think like pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
You're entering and you're going to be making a roll to exert your presence.
Oh, absolutely. I
this is a
step
reality
out
approach.
immediately, and I'm galloping, right? And I'm doing the like, so I'm entering flashily. Is this how we're gonna do this?
Yeah.
So I'm rolling,
And adding your flashy, yeah.
and I'm kind of doing the horse like weird spin around thing, you know, how you like will turn it around in place, but it's not very fast. Ooh, not good. I got a negative. No, I got a +1. But I don't like that at all. Can I use?
You can use a fate token. And
do I have to justify it?
You have to, invoke an aspect.
Well, we've only got our secret and
High concept is also an aspect.
Yeah, you add.
oh,
Your approach to
because I'm classy. There's no way I could enter in this with this filthy roll that I've done with whatever that was. That's better. I got a +4.
Excellent.
To enter flashily.
All right. +4. I'm gonna keep that in mind. But Josh, go ahead and you make your
I'm
entrance.
gonna enter cleverly behind him as he like blasts forward through the pyrotechnics and the smoke and everything. I'm like scooting up right behind him so that I don't get burned by any of it. and you know, kind of like he shows up and he's all flashy, and then there I am right behind and doing a weird like the forearms crossing over the chest and like a bow to the audience with both heads at the same time. So I don't know, clever. I'm trying to be clever about the way that I'm approaching it. I don't know. Or quick. Either one, it's a +2. So a +2 is my total.
Excellent. Behind that skull over there, is there a stack of index cards?
How do you feel about I like
Are these
I like the suggestion here
a
for
bunch of right draw?
Yeah, let me see.
I do like that.
instead of the Pride Troopers.
Yeah.
I like that's pretty good.
They probably all have these writing on them, but I'm out of blank ones.
Oh, we didn't roll the gravity wells.
I'll roll the gravity wells.
When did you start rolling?
Are we going to do?
I don't know.
How should we roll it?
Yeah, so this is kind of tricky because these are 6-sided dice. But the guideline for
I don't agree
turning
with it, frankly.
a 6-sided die into a
I don't.
fate die is that so you got pluses, minuses, and blanks, right? A 5 is a plus, like if you draw a line sticking
right.
out them.
Yeah.
I remember this.
A 3 is a minus.
Got it.
6 is
I think
0.
a 6 and a 1 are blanks.
Okay.
And what was 3? A minus.
A minus, yeah.
I'm re-rolling it. Cracked. Minus. Plus. You got a 0. 0 on the board.
I might have to look that up, but
Someone want to re-roll it?
it's not important.
Do it.
Do you put 2 birds on?
You just stack them and put 1 bird.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Wow.
0-0.
No,
Are you gonna re-roll the 0?
I think I should.
Do it.
You probably should.
We're bound to get one, isn't it? 0. We get -1. That's okay. Luckily, it's a.
Well, we got all the
Take
bad
it.
rolls
And
out.
here's the funny thing is that somehow I still have a bird in my pocket from last week.
What is the bird?
Because these are the same jeans that I wore here last week when we did the Five Elders game.
Yeah.
And I had put this little guy in my pocket, so there he is.
Perfect.
Excellent.
All right.
Word has been placed upon it.
The OG bird.
The gravity well is a ritual among the table that's very important and very magical. That I would explain, but I'm having issues technically. But that's not important. So you guys are getting an aspect.
Oh, please give us one.
Well, actually, so you got a 4 and a 2. I want to see how it compares to the other group.
Yeah.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. So they're entering, and their music is playing. What kind of music do you think it is?
For them or for
For them, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with-
What were you guys again? What's your name again?
Lots of limbs.
Lots of limbs. I don't know.
I know. I feel
It's
like
probably the Macarena or
just
something like
look
that.
at how he and I have chosen to spend our points. I feel like I have a good idea for how our music would go. Macarena. It's definitely not the Macarena.
That's what we
I was thinking of doing.
what I was
I was thinking we could do the
saying.
Ginyu Force thing. Like, I was gonna go full like.
Reform.
Just go.
Now for you guys,
Yeah, for you all.
you've
Do we
got
have to, we get to
two-headed,
pick your
a centaur and a 2-headed.
Vortarum.
how about some
Just made it up.
heavy metal?
No, I think it's like
want-
some.
Do you want to come out to cake since you're a pastry chef?
Well, I feel like we both have this this kind of style and this sort of French kind of background going. So I think it's like the the kind of old timey French singer.
Yes, that sounds
So no Sex Pistols then.
And it sounds like it's playing on a vibraphone for some reason, or whatever you call those things. Is that the right word?
Hey,
So it's just like a crooner or something.
talking about the one with the theremin.
No,
No.
like
Like the big horn thing and
good. Yeah, the record on the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It's not a vibraphone, but I can't think of what it's called.
Theremin would be more like gramophone.
Gramophone.
Yeah.
For that.
Grabophone, because there's so many hands involved.
The theremin is that weird one with an antenna.
I may have played it before.
All right, as you guys step out from the stage, the band totally misses the cue, and the light is just shining, and they're like adjusting.
One
their
firework
instruments.
goes off. Did the crowd react?
And there's just a whole bunch of murmuring going on in the
Okay.
crowd. Yeah. And then finally they spark up their tune.
That's so good.
But for a moment they're all like a little bit off from one another. And how do you guys
so suddenly?
How do you guys enter?
What were you thinking? What was your idea?
I feel like Truffles is gonna come like charging out. He's not gonna like present himself. He's ready to get down to business. You know, it's not about fame or fortune for him. Or wait, it is about fortune. It's not about fame. So I feel like Truffles would come out aggressively. He comes
Just
out
like Ultimate Warrior, just sprinting.
He comes out 2 feet sprinting.
Does he
and
also
at some
have
point, he like trips forward. He's into on all fours for just a second until he gets back up. Yeah.
And he has the bicep tassels, right?
Oh yeah.
Perfect. All right, give me a roll and what
sure, that would be-
approach are you using?
Definitely aggressive.
Aggressive. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's see. 2. Because those cancel out. That's a -1 plus 3.
All right, a 2. Excellent. And how are you entering?
I guess I could follow up with an aggressive thing, but I'm gonna come out a little bit slower. I mean, I guess the smoke could be coming out a little bit, so I'm just kind of like, you see this huge, tall, like shadow behind, like with like the lights that are casting that shadow, and you see it like, and then out comes like this tiny little like white eggshell creature with a tail. It's just like slaps the tail down like aggressively and just like shakes the whole place for a minute and just keeps walking forward, and then I just kind of stand there and I'm just like expecting everyone to clap for me, and I like open one eye and I'm like, clap you fools, and I like put out my fingers and like just try to totally
Intimidate.
well, I like laser somebody in like the chest, just to like kill. It's like a little, warning shot.
I'm stunned. It's set to stun. Perfect.
And then, assuming this does, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, that's my. I'm forcing everyone, intimidating everyone to clap for me. What is this? So, it's 4, 3. So it's a 3 in total.
Ooh, yeah, you guys are close.
I figured I'd follow up with your aggressive approach.
Yeah.
I was gonna do flashy, but I'll
that's
find
really
another
good,
way
too.
to bring in the Ginyu Force. Make it work.
All right, you guys get some audience aspects. Many Limbs has audience favorite.
Oh yeah.
And you guys can
Excellent.
you get 1 free invoke on it, and then you can spend fate tokens to invoke the second time. And the underdogs, the underpigs. For what was your guys' team name?
Weren't we the Truffle Troopers?
The Truffle Troopers.
Troopers.
Yeah, the Truffle Troopers.
The Truffle Troopers. You guys emerge to this. You reach the kitchen arena, which is these long. It's kind of like octagonal. Several different stations where there's all kinds of like cutting boards and devices, like all kinds of ovens and everything. And then in the very center of it, there's the podium where the secret ingredient is revealed, right? And the press is running around with their cameras and whatnot. Or wait, this isn't televised, but they're putting it up on some kind of screen or something,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So someone runs up to each of you individually.
It's not the press. It's just like some dude with a handy cam. This is the low budget version.
Just so that the audience who doesn't have the best seats can still see like close-ups and whatnot. And for each of you, some kind of stagehand provides you with the prop that you are renowned for holding. And in Iron Chef, it's oftentimes like they're holding like a bell pepper or like a whisk or something like that like represents their like culinary style. What is your pose and what's your like tool?
Well, for sure,
or
Truffle.
implement or yeah.
Truffle's dual wields cleavers.
Yes.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah. Butcher's cleaver. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, I think his stance would be real aggressive, wide shoulders, like cleavers way out, like just being a big imposing 6 foot tall hog with cleavers.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What is the other half of Truffle Troopers?
I guess I'm gonna be standing like in front of him because I'm much smaller, like 5 foot, like 1 probably. And I'm gonna do the classic like Frieza pose where I'm like aggressively like holding out both my hands, but rather than just like holding it out empty, I've got like let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 whisks.
Yes.
So that's just the classic.
And they're all spinning.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, the many limbs.
Yeah. So my character, it would be like just standing straight up, tuxedo, like looking off somewhere other than the camera, holding a spatula where the end is actually a horseshoe in shape, and it's that heavy metal, but you can definitely.
This spatula would not work at all.
Well, it's closed, looks like but the outside looks like a.
Okay. I'm just trying to imagine a spatula that's like that. It's the opposite of a spatula.
This is probably the point in the picture you start to realize that my horse's tail looks the same as the head of hair that I have.
Yes.
It's the same ponytail. Like
A little suspicious.
over his shoulder, like with the tux and everything.
Perfect.
Oh.
Yes.
I think Valvita's prop is also also a whisk, although it's 2 whisks, and it's this moment of like it's like the camera's like the straight on face shot with the whisk held like this, but then like moves the 2 whisks away from each other, and they somehow like totally interlock, or they were interlocked, but they shift apart from one another, right? As if they're crossing over each other, and then reveals the face, the 2 faces.
Perfect.
I'd like an addendum. My whisks are made of like energy, by the way.
Nice.
They're laser whisks.
Laser whisks.
All right, so everyone gets 1 round. This is like abstractly, this is the announcer going to both sides and saying, which I'll need you guys to help me construct a little bit of a backstory with things, but he's being like, the last time you encountered the opposing team of many limbs, or the last time you encountered Valvita, this was the outcome of the match, and what is it going to be like this time? And this is the pro wrestling like trash talk,
Yes.
right? As you're like looking right in each other's faces, you can make an attack on the person and be like, I'm using aggressive and I'm intimidating them, and that would check off your like conditions, your stress boxes. You could also create an advantage by like, instead of like trash talking the other team or the other players, you're appealing to the audience and you're trying to create a new situational aspect to like get yourself under this kind of audience appreciation or something like that. Those are two examples of things that you could do on this turn, or create an advantage of some other kind narratively. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
And whoever wants to start, we can go with that. If you feel like you're like, I got an idea.
You asked how it's going to be different this time? Well, I'm gonna make a mini lamb souffle. Oh yeah!
This is the best thing I've ever seen.
One so tasty, you'll never know what another souffle would ever be like. It'll be the only souffle you'll ever want to eat.
That's all I got. I ain't got nothing.
Perfect.
I'm going aggressive, by the way.
Okay.
Oh yeah!
And yeah, it sounds like you're creating advantage because you're like hyping yourself and your team as opposed to like putting down the other team.
Yeah, I'm trying to let them know we're here to mean business. It's not going to be like last time, you know?
Oh, and
I want that
doesn't
money.
matter. I'm better than you.
All right, give me a roll.
Oh yeah!
What did I say? Aggressive? Mm-hmm. So, 4?
Dang, a 4.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like it when the DM is upset about my roll.
Oh no, dang, it's high.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really good.
You get a bit of a chant going for a second there. They're like, souffle, century, souffle, the century. All right, and you can get two free invokes on that. This is the expectation of the audience.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Souffle of the century.
By the way, the lady in the audience who threw her like equivalent of a bra at you looks eerily similar to you. Like, looks like she's a relative and you don't know.
It's like it's multiple cups of bras.
That's why.
I turn to the host with the microphone that's got it raised there, and I say,
The result of this contest will be it has already been determined, you see. For 2 heads are better than 1, 4 arms are better than 2, and 6 legs. Of course, you see how this goes. Yes, you do. Yes.
the two voices are hiking each other and digging. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go, and he's digging at our enemies here. So an attack, an intimidation attack, using careful. This is a brains kind of approach.
Yeah.
Explaining that clearly we already have won the contest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have many more limbs.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got a total of 3.
Okay. And if you pick one person that you're like digging between them, and then he'll make a defense. So you'll roll and add one of your abilities that you're kind of narratively like, I'm taking an aggressive defense by being like, you know.
So I'm just defending. I'm not like trying to make a quip or a comeback, right? Just
right. Yeah, you're kind of just standing up against his threats.
Yeah. Then I would probably, well, look at that.
I got this.
Yeah, I mean, it naturally. I feel like I would aggressive. Yeah. So it'd be a 4.
Just getting in his face and being just like, so what were your guys' totals?
So he won. I had 3. He had 4.
Okay, so then you do not suffer any conditions.
So you can just apply the reality approaches to anything you want?
Except for cooking stuff.
That just seems so crazy.
That's how Fate Accelerated works in general.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're like, it's kind of like, imagine D&D with no skills, just ability scores.
Right.
So you're like charisma and dexterity and whatever. And
but as long as narratively it makes sense, you can use whatever stat you want.
Yep. It's kind of a negotiation because if you're like, I'm gonna push this guy off the cliff by being careful.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, that doesn't really make
a
whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, that camera. It's always that funky. We're working on it.
Well, I mean, leaning forward and leaning back makes a big difference.
It was
because
it was pretty funny to watch Shag because it was like almost entirely the whole time, and he was like kind of all over the place. I was like, yeah, that camera is. All right, excellent. So that was kind of a null, like nothing came of that mechanically, but you guys are just kind of. in the stare down, locked in a stare down.
That's not fair. He's got two people staring.
Yeah.
I'm like,
All right, and
trying to make eyes at both of them.
So I'd like to repost to Valvitas. I guess what are we gonna call it? Boasting.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do this. I would have said aggressive would have been my approach, but I'm just gonna say what I was planning to say. And we'll figure it out. So, anyways, I just sort of like lift my arms up and shrug and like.
3 heads are better than one. Haven't you ever heard of the phrase that too many cooks in the kitchen? I think you'll find that we'll be beating you with far fewer with so little effort that it won't even be a challenge.
Truffles is hyping.
Yeah, it sounds clever to me.
Oh no!
But it could be
maybe quick because it's a quick-witted.
I think that sounds fine. Yeah,
only because I'm not
reasonable.
It's not clever. Okay, cool.
Right.
And
So
if this is a dig, then
definitely
Josh is
a
going to
dig.
have to roll against you. Velveeta is going to have to roll a defense.
all right,
It's a 6.
I'm kidding.
It's a 6. I saw it was a 6.
Okay. Well, I'm probably making a clever defense. I don't know. I'm just gonna roll. Well, I do not succeed. I had a 1 total.
And what was your total, Taylor?
4.
4.
Quick, so too quick. It's too
Dang.
positive.
All right, so this is just like other fates where you're taking the difference in shifts under the bottom where it says conditions, but this has basically no stress. It goes immediately to conditions, but there are lesser conditions.
Okay, so I'm taking 3 damage. Damn it.
So
I hit you where it hurts, man. I attacked you for your dual personalities.
you can also invoke in order to either reroll or get a +2 to like mitigate some of the damage that you're taking.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that. I'll invoke my carrot. I gotta win this, so I can get separated from myself.
You realize that he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are too many.
Damn him.
Yeah, so then you would only take 1, so you would just check off that first box. And the idea is that fleeting conditions go away at the end of the scene. And sticky lasts longer, and lasting lasts even longer. Yeah.
I like the names for these: burned and chopped.
I know they're
great.
the thematic.
You've been chopped.
All right, so you've all had your. No. I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so my character hasn't even looked at the other team as they've been talking, and he's just been standing there. And he suddenly picks his nose and starts rolling a booger, and just is like, who's ever heard of the what did you say troopers, and flicks it at this guy. So I'm making an attack, a quick attack,
Booger attack.
I'd like to cast Booger Flick.
Can I say that
+3.
that would seriously
Fade
piss
that
me off
booger.
anyway? To how dare he?
How dare you!
All right. Let's say. I don't know what approach would be a good way to defend against that. Maybe quick.
Yeah, you can do quick to get out of the way, or aggressive to just let it hit you and just be and not let it affect you, because it's a mental attack on you.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll do aggressive then. Okay, so
Damn.
that makes it a 4.
So you beat him, right?
Oh, did I?
I believe so. Or
yeah.
did you tie?
Yeah, I got a 3.
Okay, yeah. So the
Dang.
booger sticks to your face and you just crawl it out with that. Yeah.
Just take one of my little fingernails and.
That'll be the last mistake you've ever
And
made.
then it lands on a fan and hits him in the face. He's like, I'm never washing my face again.
sword from Gregory Hogsworth, flipped by Lord Conjecture. Oh my god! Literally, they just like melt into a puddle because of a gelatinous creature.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, the
trash talk.
The trash talk. The opening remarks have finished. You guys have moved to your respective stations, and the announcer has like dinosaur walked up the steps to this podium where there's like this huge like tablecloth that's thrown over this giant box, right? That's like the secret ingredient is beneath it, and starts to reach and is drumming up the interest. The little lizard is walking around with the boom mic, and he's totally hyping up this secret ingredient. It's the most dangerous, the most deadly, and then all of a sudden, like, you hear this ripple of commotion throughout the audience, and he's like kind of struggling to get the attention of everyone back. He's like talking louder and louder and looking around of like, what is all this commotion? And you guys are glancing around and see across the room at the entrance of this place, a figure has stepped in with, think the equivalent of like 6 FBI agents in tow, right? That are all like dressed in suits, various different alien species, and they're all packing guns and whatnot, and everybody's murmuring, and you guys are looking in that direction, and you see that it is Chairwoman Nalu, who is the Iron Chef. She is not only the creator of Uranium Chef. She's not only the creator of Uranium Chef, but she's kind of the autocrat of the entire galactic empire that you all belong to. Her story was that she conquered, she united all of these different galactic empires and all of these different civilizations under one government, and in the process of like uniting all these people, she went around and tasted all their different cuisines, and she learned to love them and cook them herself, and then she decided that she wanted to continually up the taste of everything, so she created, with her vast, incredible sum of wealth, the Uranium Chef itself, which is a robot, which is a world renowned, galactically renowned chef, and then she invites people onto her reality, her most favorite chefs that she witnesses cook in kitchen arenas throughout the galaxy. She invites them to compete against it on stage. So the fact that she has stepped into this establishment, despite that it is totally illegal, and this is kind of like a queen of sorts, right? You guys all get tingles on your spines because you know that she'll be watching, and that if you impressed her, you might step into a career of fame and fortune on the Uranium Chef stage. And the curtain billows back as the secret ingredient is revealed, and inside the case there are I think it's like a fish tank. It's like a clear fish tank, and inside is a writhing mass of crabadgers. Yes, which are crab badgers.
Yeah.
Crabadgers.
How much you can handle this?
And we'll come back after the break and cook our first dishes on Uranium Chef. Stay tuned.
Can't wait to put that crabadger to use.
Oh my god. Alien Gordon
And we're back with Uranium Chef. The first competition. Grab that door.
Look at games.
It's like, me? Want one from me?
Last we heard, our group is competing in a highly illegal, top secret, underground
Yes.
competition where they are going to be crafting a dish with a very rare and highly nearly extinct, highly dangerous, poisonous crabadgers. They're poisonous quilled crabadgers. So we got our kitchen stadium.
I've cooked with a crabadger before.
For the audience at home who's never worked with a crabadger before.
Yes. I know I need to practice my announcer voice. Work on that.
You got some time, but I expect it to be good.
Next week. I'll have it together by next week.
Yeah. Don't make me do all the work. At least have it written down so I can just...
I'm adjusting a camera, guys. Sorry.
Also, Material Components is hiring a director of camera.
A director of cinematography, yeah.
If you're interested, apply. You don't get paid. You have to pay us, obviously.
Yeah, all of your work expenses will not be covered.
Yeah, because all of our money is going to Void Effigy to make us random lists.
Monty cookbooks.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Stop. Don't do that. I don't want that to happen anymore.
That's what I need, though.
Yep, exactly. Those Jirscar steaks.
That's the good stuff. Sorry, I'm just like, I am having a lot of technical issues today.
Anine milk washed brandy cocktails.
Yeah.
That was the best. Patsy's favorite cocktail.
So what should we be thinking about right now, Keith? What are we working toward here?
All right. You guys should pick. One group should be on one half of the stadium, and one group should be on the other. So I guess you could pick zones like that.
Cool.
If that would work.
Okay.
I'm gonna move you forward so because he has a big piece there. You see those?
Yep.
Camera.
Altar.
That's probably where
The judges table.
Gotcha.
that's probably where the special dish is at the altar. Or maybe the durian's podium. But I think that's more of like a, oh, I don't know. Think about garlic bread sticks.
All right.
I will think about that.
There's our stadium.
Blue-orange. Would it even be called blue-orange if it is blue?
Well, it's a flavor, not an actual color. It's kind of like blue raspberry is like an actual flavor.
Orange is a
like
flavor, not a color.
pink lemonade.
All right. So here's the situation. You guys are. This is a quick fire cook-off.
Flavor is blue.
Which means that you're going to be cooking one dish for each team.
Dishlicious.
On your turn, you're going to have 4 exchanges. So you're going to have 4 turns to cook it.
Okay.
right? You'll get 4 actions each.
All part of like preparing.
Yeah, things you can do with those actions include collecting the secret ingredient. Right now it's like there's this writhing mass of poisonous quilled crabadgers in this fish tank in the center of the arena. So you'll need to collect the secret ingredient. Then, and you guys should all have this second sheet, right? This dish template. Which we'll be using for this. So you can also make a dish by creating the main aspect. So see how it's like main, side, plating? Mm-hmm. So the first thing you have to do is make the main aspect. So you're kind of declaring what the dish is, right? You're like, it's a uranium-infused, crabadger sherbet. And then you can accentuate it with side aspects. So then you're like with a caramel, maple glaze or something like that, right? And then when you've completed it, the last step you have to do is a plating aspect. And you can't do anything else after that because that's representing like how you're making it fancy on the plate. So you can't like later on be like, okay, I'm adding another glaze to it because you're like it's already plated, right? So that seals it. So the way that any dish aspect goes down, right? The way that this mechanically happens is you are going to declare what the approach, like what the flavor is going to be, right? So you're like, is it sour, sweet, spicy, cool, savory, bitter, right? You're like how you have those culinary approaches. Mm-hmm. You're deciding that. And then you're picking a difficulty between like +0 and +8 of like how hard are you going to try and hit on this, right? And so the higher you go, if you hit it, it's worth more points, right? Like when the judging happens, it's worth a lot more points. But you also risk, you have to like roll and add your culinary approach. And if you went for like an 8 and you don't make the 8, then you'd like failed to create that aspect. So you could, if you're like, okay, we want to make sure that this dish is awesome, one person could be like, I'm going to start prepping, or I'm going to create an advantage to us making this dish that then you can tap when you're trying to hit that number.
So are we sharing the dish templates?
Yeah. As a team, you're creating one dish.
So we're making a main and one side and plate.
A dish, like, in order to complete it, needs a main and a plating, and that's it.
Oh,
but
no
like
sides,
like add points to it.
Okay.
So you could be like, I'm gonna make a main and then a bunch of sides, but each of those is gonna take a turn to like create.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you're deciding what flavor, you're deciding how hard you want the task to be, and then that will be like noted under where it says value, and then that will like add points to the score at the end, and then you roll and you add your culinary approach, the one that you're doing in that situation, and things to think about is you can't do 2 flavors of the same type on a single dish. Like if you start with it being bitter, then your side aspect has to be a different flavor. Okay. You can't repeat a flavor on a single dish. Cool. You can also, with your actions, like create advantages. How I had said, you can combat the other chefs. You can sabotage. You can create like sabotage aspects. You're like, I'm gonna sabotage their oven or something like that.
So shitty.
You can spy on judges, but we won't do that in this situation because the judges is an anonymous thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Not sure what that do.
I don't know. Not necessarily. I'm just making notes for myself.
Does that all make sense? Mm-hmm. I know that's kind of like
it makes sense.
It's crazy, and this is like this is the tutorial, right?
Yeah,
We're like doing a quick. In like later sessions, we might have like a full cook-off that will be like you have 15 turns to cook as a certain number of dishes. Whoa. And so then you're going to be like each turn you're going to be doing something different.
And do you decide ahead of time on everything, or do you just kind of go as you
kind
go?
of just make it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the descriptor, like the actual text that you're writing down, doesn't matter at all. All that matters is like the value and the flavor, right? So you can literally just be like, it's a caramel spaghetti sauce glaze or something, and it doesn't matter at all.
Delicious.
Wait, is the spaghetti caramel or is the sauce caramel?
Good question.
The answer is yes.
All right, so I don't know how we decide who goes first. Let's say quick.
That makes sense.
Quick roll.
Or
Who has
do
the
we
highest
like?
quick?
Is
I have a
is this
2.
like a sprint to the Crabadger like cage to like film?
It's
It could be like one
what
person
do they
could
call
stay
that?
back and be like, I'm going to create an advantage by like cutting up a bunch of vegetables. Like I'm going to get started on the veggies, or you can like both go up there and like both work at catching the Crabadger.
Interesting.
I can't think of what they call it, but I feel like it's maybe like a Le Mans start is what it's called in racing, where everybody starts outside of the car, like at the sideline, and then they actually have to run up to the car and get in the car before they can run. So I like the idea of it being like we're all starting at the boundary and then we have to run in the
Yeah.
Yep.
Then there's just raging a cage of raging Crabadgers in the middle. Yeah.
All right, so who has the highest quick?
I have a 1.
I have 2.
2.
All right, I think the team Many Legs is going to go first then, because you guys have more quick total. So you guys can go in whatever order, and then the other team will go. And I'll note the number of exchanges we've had. The audience roars. Chairwoman Malu. That's a kind clap. I should get you a picture so that you know how awesome.
Well, if we're going first, then I'd like to.
Well, she's on the cover.
Oh yes.
Nice.
What a
So she's
badass.
very regal and kind of like the ruler of the known galaxy, but also like a crazy food aficionado.
My destiny. So, I'd like to I'd like to create an advantage
Okay.
for. I assume that it's not just going to be as simple as getting down and like swooping up this Crabadger, right? So I'd like to make an advantage to basically say that like, you know, that I have encountered these things before, or at least know of creatures like it, and
Yeah.
So I'd like to tell basically like our team like this is the best way to catch a
Cool.
Crabadger.
Yeah, so I think that would probably be clever.
I was thinking clever or careful.
Yeah,
Either
I'm
one.
cool with either of those. Yeah.
So like, I'm basically like, hold on a moment before you go. I believe this is the best way to manage it. Yeah, so
Grab
that's
them behind the ears.
not quite. 4 to create an advantage.
The question is, where is the crab's ears?
So basically, I tell you that to like roll up a piece of paper and form a straw and like stick it down in the thing and blow bubbles, and the crabs like to like pop the bubbles, and they're like, so it distracts them while you try to catch them.
Perfect. It's a little different than what I was going with, but I'm cool with both. I went with they're extra wiggly. Use every hand.
That too.
And there's two free invokes on it because you succeeded with style.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, in the way that fate is, you're like, now we have this advantage that's been created, and as long as it narratively makes sense to tap into that, then you can.
Nice.
Well, good thing that we have many hands.
Use every hand.
And am I going now, Keith?
Yes.
All right. I guess I want to try to grab onto one of these Crabadgers because we got to get our. I think we should get our secret ingredient sorted first. And I'm gonna use his advice of using both hands, all my hands, and grab onto a, kind of a oven mitt-ish sort of thing, but there's 4 of them.
Yes.
Sliding them
like
on,
Tom's.
reaching in to try to grab. Man, do we have to kill one of these things, or am I just pulling it out? I don't even know. I'm pulling it out.
All right.
Careful.
Only an amateur would serve a crabbatcher dead.
I got a 4.
Nice. Yep, you succeeded. So you have
That
the
without this? Nice.
you have the raw ingredient of
The secret ingredient.
crabadger.
How many crew badgers are there?
Oh, there's more than enough. Yeah.
There's
It's not. I'm not
thousands.
keeping track of them. Yeah.
Thousands.
It must not be very big. Is it a magical?
No, it's just a really deep tank.
Do you want it to be? It doesn't matter whether it's dead or not.
I don't want them to be
I
dead.
think it's more exciting if it's alive.
If it's still alive, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll say, yeah. You got 4. You've got 4 wiggling crabadgers in hand, 1 in each hand.
I'm throwing it straight into the deep fryer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what noise a crew badger makes. If it makes like a crab noise. Or
Yeah. In which case, crabs don't make any noise.
Well, they bubble.
Sorry, I was getting to the.
Which, in this case, since it's a crabadger, it basically just looks like a rabid badger.
Do we have
foaming
to
at the
move
mouth
through
with,
these
like,
zones, or is it just
claws.
like narrative?
You get 1 free like zone that you move through without any.
And still be able to do an action or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Sorry, I lost my badger. All right, it is. Its natural flavor is cool. Oh, actually, I'm rolling off against you. I forgot about that. This is an active opposition, and it is skilled +2 at wiggling. So I got a 3 total.
So I win.
Yep. All right, and if you want to invoke, you got that free invoke if you want to.
Yeah, I don't think I need to if I've already won. I mean, I guess I could succeed with style if I used one of them. I'll do that then.
Okay.
Because otherwise I don't really know what it'll be used for. So. The style allows me what?
I think it gives you an extra free invoke on the ingredient, but I forget exactly how the ingredients. Sorry, guys, I don't have this all down because there is kind of a lot to it.
That's okay.
Oh, were you looking for secret ingredients earlier? I think I found a list.
No.
Are you sure? I mean, spicy radioactive weasels?
Is there on the dish thing? Is there a raw ingredient? No.
Vampire melons?
there was a different
sour cream.
packet than this one over there. I don't know what was in it. Do you want to read that? That's what the crew badgers are. It gives you.
Okay. So this is an aspect that is raw crabadger. And then it says the flavor. And you succeeded.
Aerosol.
You didn't succeed with style.
I did.
You got
You did. Okay. Then it has a free invoke on it.
Congealed sunlight. Antimatter
And so
cheddar.
then you use that to like create the dish.
Man-eating carrot.
Okay. When it comes time to actually create it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
No wear pairs.
All right. So that is Team Many Legs. Team Truffle. What was it? Truffle Troopers?
Truffle Troopers.
Truffle Troopers.
Did you want to go? Because he's got to hire quick. I don't know if it magazine.
I can. Okay, so is this a thing? Can I make an obstacle that they have to overcome?
Yes.
Okay, so then I would like to casually, spill some. Well, I should say I would like to. What approach do I want to do this in? I'm going to throw some cooking oil on their side of the field, so they have to possibly slip on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So if this side is our zone, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm basically trying to affect one of their zones, right?
Yeah. I think you can affect an adjacent zone, so you can move here and then affect that zone.
So I'm going to go after zone 5 then.
All right.
And so I'd like to. Maybe go with. I guess this is an aggressive move. I mean, I'm trying to
or sneaky maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't think anything would be sneaky. Well, yeah, I guess it would be sneaky. All right, yeah.
I don't know. I guess that depends on if they see you or not.
That's true.
Or whether you want to be seen.
Yeah, if you want to be seen. I'd say if you're not trying to be hidden, I would go aggressive. But
I'm not really trying to be hidden. But I'm more kind of trying to mock them.
It's however that you're
because
trying to
I'm
do
going
it.
after the guy with many legs. So I'm gonna try to make his life a little bit harder.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
You just kick it over.
So these are sabotage aspects. So this is you're creating an advantage, you're creating an aspect, but it's a sabotage aspect that people can invoke against them when they're creating. If it makes sense, right? Booby-trapped oven, burned chopped vegetables, stealing their utensils, smashing their dishware, stuff like that are
Slippery
examples they
floor.
give. Yeah.
Slippery flow. Well, if it's aggressive, it's a 6.
Nice. Dang. What do you think? Oil everywhere?
Yeah, I don't know, oily,
Crisco.
slick precipice of darkness. No. Yeah, I would say definitely slippery floor, oil everywhere. Let's go with that. I like that one because that's could mean that it could have gotten on some of their utensils.
Yeah. Oil. And you got a 6? Yeah. All right. So that is in this zone. In that zone, oil has spilled all over the counter, and a flame from the fryer burner threatens to light it for a second and manage to.
Nice move.
But so if you guys are cooking in that station and trying to make a roll, that can be invoked against you to give you a -2. All right, and then the truffle himself.
How I'm sorry if you said earlier. How big is a crabadger?
They're like the size of a dog.
Okay.
They use your heart.
This is just how truffles.
Those are the
is,
ones, right?
Yeah,
They get to be as
poisonous
big
ones.
as a house, right? Not
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. If left, to their own devices.
500-year-old crow badger. It's the size of a car.
Truffles has never been graced with the pleasure of having a nice preparation table. He's just going in there and just gonna kill a bunch of crabadgers and then just take what he needs whenever.
Okay.
Maybe I'll probably grab 3 or 4 of them, and then whatever we don't use, I'll toss out to the crowd in a big celebratory. Move to, I don't know, get them hype or something.
Get hype!
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, I'm going in cleaver swinging, and then I'll just bring you back bits of crabadger for us to work with.
Crabadger bits.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and
making
mince
a
the
crab
crabadger.
cake, aren't we?
All right.
Carapace and all.
Yeah. What do you want? Aggressive for that, or
Yeah, I think aggressive makes sense.
a 4?
Excellent. So you got chopped crabadger bits, cool natural flavor, with 1 free invoke.
Cool.
So you come back with your arms filled with chopped diced up.
That's my apron. I'm holding it in my apron.
Yes, and just bleeding through your apron.
Yeah.
There's some of them are still squirming, reaching out.
Those are reflexes. Crabadgers do that.
Or wait, I have to roll against you, but I don't foresee. No, yeah, you still succeeded with style.
Nice.
All right.
Weird flex, but okay.
The audience is cheering and roaring with excitement. Team Many Legs. This is the second round of 4.
So this oil has come into my station, and I'm going to completely ignore the person who did it because he's worthless to me. And I'm going to move over to this station, and I'm going to heat up the oven or the stovetop and throw a little bit of water in a pot and start heating it up. Add some salt. I'm basically doing some prep to create an advantage on a side
Excellent.
item that I plan on using the Crabadger's poison glands for.
Perfect.
So can I use my culinary approach?
Yes.
Bitter. That is a +3. I'll accept it.
Yes. 3 succeeds. They give examples of like raw chopped vegetables, tenderizing with explosives, sharpened knives, smoking grill as like prep aspects.
Quick stock. It's like a quick version of like a stock that you'd use to create a sauce or something like that. It tastes like
poison stock, right?
Yeah, but it tastes like it's been cooking for a while. I know the secrets.
Instapot.
Instant pot.
All right.
You just happen to have one.
Quick poison stock?
Yes.
In your rear. The guy's like handing you like
comes
an
up.
Instapot.
All right.
I want to throw these Crabadgers in the deep fryer.
All right.
And I guess I'm probably starting on the main dish.
Okay.
I don't really know, so I'm just totally winging it here.
Okay. So if
to
you're
see how the
doing,
mechanics work.
yeah. All right. So this is the first of like dish aspects that we've done. So I'll go over it again, but. Whenever you're creating a dish aspect at all, you're like, is it the main aspect? Is it adding to or you're creating like the main aspect, like a new dish?
Yeah.
Are you adding to an existing dish with a side or plating aspect, right? So we're creating a new dish, and now you're picking a culinary approach.
Now, does that have to be...
It doesn't have to be. If you embrace the natural flavor, you may invoke the secret ingredient to aid in creating this dish aspect, using any of its free invokes if you wish.
Okay, so if it had a free I do have one free invoke to do that.
If you mask it, you may not invoke the secret ingredient to help you create this dish aspect. If you want ingredients to invoke, you'll have to create prep aspects at your station. Yeah, so I think...
Alright,
It just can't be bitter because that's what I've chosen for that side.
Gotcha, yeah. So I'll embrace the ingredient, the cool quality that raw Crabagers tend to bring, and I'm going with the cool sorry, I'm doing a mousse, like a savory mousse. The creaminess of the Crabadger, kind of treating it like like the crab rangoons with the cheese and the meat, kind of whatever. But first we deep fry it.
Crabadger rangoons. Yes. All right, so you picked your flavor going with cool, right?
Yeah.
So now you're picking the difficulty that you're going for with this, between 0 and 8, and keep in mind that you're adding your bonus and you're adding the free invoke, so you have to try and get a number that's within reason, and you can invoke like popularity aspects and whatnot. You can spend fate tokens from your character, and one important thing to note is that the value of the main aspect is going to be the cap for everything that comes after it on that dish. So if you go for like a 0 or a 1 on a dish, you can't make a sauce that's like a 4, right? It's like it has to all be like that's the cap.
Okay.
So you kind of want it to be, decently high.
Yeah. Well, so I'm already going to be getting
sorry, quick question. Since I already started on the side, can I have chosen the value, even though...
I think your side, it sounded more like you were just creating an advantage.
Yeah, I didn't know if I had to choose it at that time.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you're setting yourself up to, when you do the side, then you can actually tap into your advantage.
And that's what that advantage is for.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't have to choose. I thought I had to choose a value at that time.
Okay. Just so I'm clear, there's four rotations or passes all together, and then our meal has to be done at the end of those 4.
Yep.
Yeah, we have to make sure.
And the only ingredients you have to have, absolutely, are the main aspect and the plating aspect.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the other stuff will add more value to it.
Okay, I'm going to go for a value of 5 on the Crabbager Rangoon. Does that seem fair?
This is the second round?
Yeah.
And we have to play. Seems fine.
So I'm going to go with a value of 5, and I'm sure I will be invoking the free 1 and maybe something more. Well, damn it. God, man. I just feel like my rolls have been horrible. Okay, so
An 8 is
with the free invoke,
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you have to invoke a whole bunch of stuff to make it.
That
Or
puts
if
me
a
at
bunch of people did like all prep,
+1.
created advantage, and then you
I
tap into a whole
spend
bunch
another
of them,
one for something. I just need to.
So you can, how do you roll more than that?
The worst thing that I could have done was. roll
So say
4.
like you guys both spent like 3 rounds just prepping stuff, and then you're like, we got chopped vegetables.
Are
we got
you
this stuff, we got
invoking and adding
all these advantages that you've created?
free
And then when
I'm
you
gonna be
actually
doing
do the
both
roll to create
in
the
order
main
to get
dish,
to a
then you're
5,
like,
I
I'm
think.
tapping into this free invoke and this free invoke and this, and each
Nice.
one gives
There
you a
we
plus
go.
2.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So you can set yourself up for
cool is not my
turns to
strong
get a
suit.
really
I only
high
have a
roll.
1 and
Okay.
cool.
Me too.
So the 1 is canceled there. 3,
4,
5
5.
with the free invoke. I did have to spend a fate point to re-roll.
That is just tying it. Which I think.
Does that not count? Because if so, I wouldn't have done a 5.
Well, we can make it up in other ways too.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It doesn't say anything about what happens if you tie. Well, usually when you tie, you succeed, but with a minor cost. I'm gonna say that this oil has spread.
Oh God. Stupid oil.
In the process.
Watch out! The crab badgers are quite slippery.
But yes, you succeeded, and then you get to name it whatever you want. So as you're like moving pots and pans and whatnot around, getting this whole thing situated, you like manage to like transfer a whole bunch of this oil with you, and has spilled across the counter. Yeah. All right, and that was Team Many Legs. What is your main dish aspect called?
It's deep fried Crabbager Rangoon.
So I get to rename what this is.
No, you can just
Okay, because I want to rename this "Victory Slipping from Your Fingers."
Yes. I'm cool with that. What are you guys doing?
Let's see. I've got some badger. You just sabotaged. We need to start on the main course.
I was thinking of prepping the stingers from the badgers.
Sure. Yeah. And you're thinking you're gonna dice those, or
Well, I'm gonna remove them and I guess try to extract the venom from it.
okay,
Because I think they would create an excellent
to
spice.
use as like an extra. Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Yes.
like an extract for.
an extract. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I'm hoping to create the most dangerous dish after all. So.
This is true.
And I think they would create an excellent spice to our final product.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to create an advantage.
All right.
Well, I guess I will do.
Sweet is my highest approach. What's your highest?
I'm going to re-roll that.
Yeah.
Because that's like the worst.
And what are you invoking? Keep in mind, you guys have these.
I'm invoking spicy?
Well, you could do your own
I
aspects.
plan on prepping the plate.
So this stuff, or these are situational aspects you've got going on here. You can't invoke that,
I'm
but-
invoking to re-roll. I'm saying I want to create the most dangerous dish. Is that
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
is that what you were asking me for?
Yeah.
Because the badger is.
Oh, that's way better.
Nice.
So 7 for my spicy advantage.
Seven.
Seven's the best.
All right.
Causes a
And what are you? Are you creating like a side, or are you?
So I
setting your
extracted
setting?
the venom to create like a spice.
Ingredient. But
I'm trying to think of what I would call that.
Use
but-
the flavor that, like, you can mask the flavor.
Okay.
I'm making a hot sauce.
But you just can't use the free invoke.
The venom.
You can't use like the
Spicy,
benefit of this.
venomous hot sauce.
Yeah, let's go with that. People have hot sauce with crab cakes. Right?
What zones are y'all in, by the way?
So when I do that, it's gonna be +2.
Returned here.
Yeah.
I guess I should have said that I was returning back to zone 6.
It's okay. I just didn't. I just wanted an update.
These are the ones we're at.
Yeah. So we've got our Martian over here, our Lord Martian, carefully extracting the venom from these individual quills. Has got this method down of like
I'm using like lasers coming from my fingernails. to-
Quills? Crabishers have quills?
yeah,
Yeah.
for reasons.
He said earlier they were quilled.
That's what makes them dangerous. This particular
Crab badgers.
Porcupines.
badger porcupines. Yeah.
Porkers.
Good old Kaporker.
Porker.
So you disadvantage. You gave them.
I created a hot sauce for us, and then this oil, the victory slipping from your fingers. Which has this spread to 2 zones now? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
now it's in both of their.
Okay, so it's in both zone 5 and 2. So. Yeah, and then we have a hot sauce. And then, of course, we have all these other situational aspects or whatever.
All right.
So, I don't know. I made a hot sauce. If you want to make crab cakes, we could go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna use the my chopped up crabadger to start making some. What was our dish called? It was upside down
Flint, rubble, double bubble.
rubble double
Crabadger cake.
Yeah.
But isn't it a souffle?
Oh no, I was gonna make souffle out of their body parts.
Oh yeah.
That's our side dish.
Secret ingredient.
The blood of our
Flesh of our
enemies.
opponents.
So crabadger,
Crab cake.
crabag cake or crabadger cake with the bit.
Crabadger.
I'm prepping. Yeah, so I'm gonna start working on the crab cakes.
All right. So you're picking the flavor. Are you going with the cool to?
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
embrace
take
the flavor?
advantage. Yep, I'm gonna take advantage of the cool crab cakes, and then I'm also. I think it's gonna be a little. I'm not gonna. There's no spice in it. It's gonna be cool.
Spice will come later.
Well, that's what I was gonna
Spice
say.
comes on top.
We've got the hot sauce that's gonna make a nice glaze, a nice drizzle. So we'll probably just go. Yeah, I'm gonna do crab cake, maybe with some, maybe with some cucumber in there.
Yes.
I'm gonna put some cucumber in.
I was thinking more of space Mexican sour gherkins. I can't be Mexican because it has to be space. So
you just change the letters, so you just say it's Corexican.
Rigelian sour gherkins.
Wait, now I can't be working on gherkins and working on cake.
Oh, I thought that was garnish. You said they wanted some cucumber. Right?
Oh yeah. I don't want no gherkins.
They look like tiny watermelons,
Or
except
cucumbers.
now they're blue because they're Rigelian.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna do a crab cake. I'm not gonna say it's a very. So let me ask you this: if my crab, okay, my main dish has to be the highest.
They
right?
are the
Everything else has to
best
be under.
crab cakes you will ever taste in your.
Yeah, that's the cap.
Galactic.
That number, you can't go
So
higher than that.
I feel
number
like
on
we
the
need to
feature.
go fairly high for the crab.
That's why I'm putting all these advantages for you, man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say crab. I'm gonna say the crab cakes are a 5.
All right.
7.
Shit, that's high.
Idiots! You must make them with higher quality!
Plus, I only have a 1 on the working with cool ingredients. I don't have a lot of that out in space.
I have a 2 on cool and a 3 on spicy.
Well, here's if I use the 1 from my cool plus 2 from the Badger Bits cool, right? Plus my roll.
And you could potentially tap into those things.
tap into
too.
those things, dude.
Do I need to tap into these before?
No, you can roll
Okay.
and
Well, I'm just gonna roll shooting for a 5 on Badger Cakes.
all right.
And definitely using 1 or the 2 from that and the 1 on my rolls.
You should re-roll that.
I'm
You should
gonna.
re-roll that.
Well, you can use the
Do I still
invoke.
use the
You can use the invoke to re-roll, so it's free.
use this one and not not add it to the.
Yeah, anytime you invoke an aspect
Okay.
at all, you can either reroll or get a +2.
Oh, okay.
I would, yeah.
So you can
And if
get the
they've got-
free one to re-roll, and then you could spend a fate point afterwards if you wanted to add more to that.
Or spend these
But
free ones.
if I spend it, I'm not going to get the +2 because.
Yeah,
you're re-rolling.
either a +2 or rerolling.
Yeah,
yeah.
but if I use a fate coin, I still can use it as
It's
a
the
+2.
same.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I rather would have
Yes, boy, that put you.
the success.
Spice also,
Try to
yeah.
hit the success. I'm going to use a.
Okay.
Wait. No, you don't have to spend a fate token if you're invoking the.
I'm not invoking this because I want the +2 because I'm not good with.
So you can anytime you invoke any aspect, you get either a +2 or a reroll.
Oh, yeah, I can invoke it as many times as I want. It's not just the one box.
You get the one.
That's
The
a
one
free
is free, but
Oh,
then
you
you
have
can
to spend a coin. Oh, okay.
then you have to spend a coin
after you do
after
that.
the free, and you can be spending a coin to invoke any of these aspects from your character, or the situational.
Okay.
So whenever you've got free invokes that you've created from advantages, you use those so you don't have to spend your fate points. It's like whenever you don't have free ones and you need to use a point, that's when you would want to spend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that then. Let me get my token back.
Yeah.
Yep.
The reason I spent my token earlier was because I was trying to stack up your buffs.
Okay. So we'll use the free one there.
Okay, and you're using that to reroll.
I think that's what everyone is telling me is the wise thing to do.
Because it'll probably be more meaningful than if you add a +2 to that terrible roll. Like you'll get more
I was
value.
I was re-rolling anyway though.
I don't think it really matters ultimately.
Yeah, that's what I was
you
saying.
can get it from any source, so it's kind of a
Which is
wash
better.
either
Yeah,
way.
excellent. That was definitely more than 2.
Yeah. So 2 plus my 1. I still get the bonus because I'm using it as a cool.
No, you use the bonus to reroll.
Okay.
But now you can spend a
Now you
fate
spend the
point to,
token.
to take the +2 if you want to.
All right.
Or you can tap into these things that are still free.
Sure.
We are the underdog.
+2, and I don't get to use this one.
You do.
Okay, so that's 5.
Yep.
Cool. Excellent. All right, and then name it. This thing that your
It's the
cake.
it's
crab.
the Flat rubble, double trouble.
Truffle shuffle crab cake.
The Flint rubble, double truffle shuffle.
Souffle cake.
Crabger cake.
The little lizard with the microphone is like getting in your face as you're going nuts, like stirring up all this stuff and breading it and whatnot. And he's like, "Oh, well, what is it that we have here?" And you're like, "This is the truffled
Truffles, the double truffle shuffle. Yeah. Truffles, double rubble, Truffle crabger cake. Everybody knows it. It's famous. You never heard about it?
All right, write that down.
It's a household name. Come on, man. Just like Mom used to make.
All right.
And then everybody's gone, right?
Sorry, I took a minute there.
That's okay.
As you guys you're all like working really fastidiously on all your different ingredients in your dishes and whatnot, and at the altar, the secret ingredient, many of them start kind of overflowing from this case, right, and are like tumbling down the steps, and start enraged at seeing like various of them being killed and chopped apart and grabbed and whatnot. They're all like in this kind of crazed blood frenzy, and they start just firing poisonous quills at you guys.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to make just an attack roll against each of you guys, and you're just defending against it. I'll start with Truffle. So go ahead and roll. Quick, flashy. I don't know how you see getting out of the way of some darts flying at you.
I see a spicy escape.
Spicy escape from the situation. Yeah, this is a reality aspect, definitely. But
Spicy move.
Yeah, I think Truffle is gonna try to be clever.
okay,
I think. And
he's hiding behind the dish. That he's
well, I was
making
gonna
a pot or
say
something.
I'm using the pot to try and catch quills for my dish.
Yes.
To add to my dish.
All right. What is your total?
4.
All right, you succeed. So quills are bouncing off your pot lid and falling on the ground, and you're like scooping them up against Velveeta.
I was quickly trying to move out of the way. I got a 3 total.
Nice. Also succeed. Sweet. Against
Hoovesworth is quickly galloping
I need to roll these.
across one of the counter spaces and does it very well.
Excellent.
That's a 5.
Oh yeah. Definitely succeed. And against
Defend with stuff.
Oof.
Oh, no.
Rolling bad here.
Oh, no. I'm rolling good tonight, man. I guess I was going to do a flashy, just like whacking them away with my bare hands. It's like...
Excellent. It sounds like you've got like some psionic stuff going on, which we totally tap into with stunts when we do stunts. All right, yeah. So you guys are unaffected by these crabadger blasts of darts. However, there's some people in the audience who are like clutching at their necks and dropping and like quivering on the ground and foaming at the mouth and whatnot. and there's like very fancy like waiters like with like towels over their arms that like throw the towel down and then like are carrying them off just to like get them out of sight of the rest of
One of the
everyone being so
bodyguards
fancy.
stepped in front of what's her face. And
No, really, yeah,
died
that's
for
what-
her, and she didn't even. Flinch.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. What's your response to this? Is she like impartial? Does she think it's funny?
Yeah, she's just like very slowly nodding, and she looks like she's just surveying this whole situation. Yeah, like very intently. She's watching all of your guys' styles, culinary styles. All right, and then back to you guys. Back to
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
You said that the main dish is like the cap for the side dishes.
Yes.
Is that also the cap for the plating?
yes.
Damn. Okay, that's fine.
You can't do like higher than a 5 on the plating.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No polishing turds.
Well, yep. That's what I was planning on doing.
This turd gonna get.
And also, so that's the cap, as in other things can be a 5, it can't be higher than a 5.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And you said we have 4 rounds, so we've gone 2 rounds, right?
Yep. This is the third.
Okay. And the plating just is like one person's action, right?
Yeah, it's an
like the
aspect
whole
just like
thing.
the other aspects. Yeah, and you're just describing it as being like,
Creating an aspect.
You know, it's like stacked into a tower, or it's like on a skewer or something like that. Like you're like, you know, doing that crazy way that they decorate, you know, like dishes.
Well, I want to create some sweet preserves of some sort, you know? Kind of some sweet sauce that this can be... These deep-fried Badger Rangoons can be dipped into. So I'm going to do a sweet flavor. It's going to be because we've had mentions of the blue instead of the orange. This is blue spineapple preserves.
Nice.
Pineapple.
That's a
Excellent.
good one in here. Spineapple. Motor oil.
All right, and then you're
Which also, spineapple is an aphrodisiac, so...
perfect.
Wow. Oh, do you know there are dino radishes in here?
Dino radishes.
And xeno peppers?
Okay, so yeah, I'm going with a sweet flavor on this one.
All right, and then you're picking the difficulty.
And I'm going for 5. Sweet is my specialty. Okay, so I got 3, 4, or wait, I got a total of 3. I think I'm gonna use a fate point, and use the audience favorite here, if that seems cool.
I am tapping into the oil everywhere and giving you a -2 because this oil is spreading out of control. So as you're cooking, it's starting a small fire that you're having to like deal with.
Victory slipping from your grasp.
Yes.
From your many hands.
I guess I'm gonna invoke a aspect.
You didn't have to use one for this, right?
You're right.
It was free. Yeah, the reason I was saying use these before your fate points is because these are situational.
Yeah.
So they can run out. Whereas these, as long as you can make them narratively make
Yeah.
sense, so technically these are more valuable than these.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered because it would have gotten. I either would have used one on the first turn and the other on the when I rerolled, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
But that was because you had to use 2. If you had have succeeded on your first one,
Oh, right,
then
yeah.
technically you wouldn't have had to use your fate point, but
oh right, yeah.
You got your 5.
Yep.
And what aspect were you
just a thought.
invoking?
Audience favorite.
Oh, okay.
Oh, audience favorite, and then I'm a pastry chef, so preserves are a common thing for pastry chefs to make.
Cool. So the little
matter if you're
reptile
sitting
with the Quizon, he's approaching you with the boom mic, and he's like, "Oh, what's this? It seems like you're making a preserve now. What is this preserve that you are?"
Out of my face, weakling!
Scuttles away.
Out of our faces, yes!
The boom mic strikes like various different pot racks and whatnot, and there's also like a small fire starting over in your guys' area with this oil everywhere. All right, and what you up to?
I will create my next my side dish that I've been preparing for, which will be a poison stock brittle glaze.
Poison stock glaze.
So everyone thought that was the moment on the television where they thought I was going for like a soup thing, but then they realized that like I turned this torch on and
it's a glaze.
yes, it like solidifies into this like caramelized thing, which I like.
He's not gonna reduce that, is he? He's reducing it.
Which I then pick up with
Kitchen Sink.
I like put down these torch goggles
Yes.
and then I pick it up with some tongs over the plate,
yeah,
over the cracker
it's a
and then I
brutal.
just with a tiny hammer, it's like elegant, comes out of my pocket,
Yeah.
and, just and it cracks all over. And I'm gonna be rolling for a 5. That is currently a 0.
You get to add your culinary approach.
I'm gonna add. Oh, yeah, that's right. So it's 3 right now, plus 2 with quick poison stock equals 5.
Perfect.
And that does it.
It's dusted with some luminescent poisonous shards.
It's like glassy. It's not only dangerous to eat physically because your tongue will get cut. It's also poisonous. So it's like you risk a lot eating this.
Perfect. All right, Team Truffle Troopers.
All right, so just to recap, we have a double trouble badger cake.
Double trouble badger cake.
And
What is it?
basically
How are you gonna blaze that double truffle cake?
some hot sauce and a big mess is what we've got, right?
It's all gonna come together.
All right.
It's all gonna come together.
Okay. Chop. Go ahead. Do you know what you want to do?
Well, I'm thinking that. Let me think here.
Poison stock, brittle
I
glaze.
really feel like the hot mess is a great name for like a sandwich at a shop.
I know. Want to go down to Dino's and get a hot mess?
A hot mess.
It is a
Hot mess with a damn sandwich.
It's like the buns made out of baked
pastries.
beans.
It's like a
It's like impossible to hold.
It's made of vegetarian like patties. Like are the two buns,
But not
all
good,
fall
like
apart.
crumbly as fuck. Baked bean bun. It's just baked beans slopped on in the burger, and it's more, and you're trying to hold it. And hot mess.
It can't even be called a bun at all.
No, it's not. It's clearly just baked beans on top, but
A refried bean patty.
you're like getting your face
Really
with
refried beans and kind of like
I think I'm gonna do a quick little side dish.
hard.
Okay, here's what what are you thinking? Because I was thinking about it.
they're so dry, your mouth is
I assume that I have access to ingredients.
Oh yeah.
I'm really good with like a
oh yes.
basically cooking down a seaweed with some garlic and
Kombu.
Oh, okay.
and doing like a hot greens side for the crab cake. Hot
Okay.
seaweed.
Well, he's gonna do a spicy thing, right?
I got a spicy
hot,
sauce.
like not spicy, hot temperature.
Like a
not a
savory.
salad, but like almost like collards.
Yeah.
And once
seaweed.
we've used a
Yeah,
culinary
that would be
approach, you
savory.
can't use the same one, right?
On the same dish.
In real
So
life,
already-
please.
So we already have spicy.
This is savory.
We've done cool,
I
right?
assume it falls under mild vegetable.
Yeah, that sounds good. Cool. Yeah, then roll and add your savory. Culinary approach.
Now, also, I don't know if you tell me if I can't do this, but Truffles would like to sneak into the pocket of his apron, pull out a little vial, and do a little couple of drops of his secret ingredient.
Secret ingredient.
Put it back into the pocket.
Did you do it sneaky without the judges knowing, though?
I've seen this before.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want some kind of advantage from that, I would say that'd have to be its own move, and you could roll and add sneaky, and then you'd be creating an advantage with sneaky, and it could be like an advantage or an aspect that's like secret ingredient.
Well, I can't take 2 turns to pull out my secret ingredient.
Yeah, it would be one turn to like set it up, and then the next turn you'd be able to actually use it.
Yeah. Or you can set it up to add it to his like spicy.
Yeah, I could make I
Sure.
could make some.
Yeah, how about I'll just go ahead and add it into. That actually will work well too.
Yeah. Or it's this.
You could spice up some man-eating
Well,
kale.
It's an advantage. It could be an advantage that you're setting up for a different aspect too. It could be for your plating aspect or for another side aspect.
Okay, I'm just gonna set it up for to use. That wasn't a roll. I was just putting my.
Okay, yeah, no.
I'm gonna set it up to just to use on my next turn.
was a 6.
But the thing is, somebody's gonna have to plate. So we only got really two goes, right?
I think so.
Okay.
So this is our last 2 turns. You'll take one, I'll take one, then you'll take one, and I'll take one again.
Yeah, and one of those is gonna be plating.
Yeah, so if you were to make the side, then on the next turn, one of you would have to make the plate.
That's what I was saying. We gotta have another dish because otherwise we're not gonna have enough.
Oh God, he's gonna murder himself.
Out of value, you know. Yeah. So I'm just gonna prepare my secret ingredient to use in a side on my next turn. If you can plate.
Do you want? Okay, yeah, I'll plate.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
But you still got your turn this time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
So
either
roll
gonna
that
make a
sneaky.
side
This
with
is your-
you, or
This is
Your secret ingredient.
sneaky to try and get out my secret ingredient, right? Oh yeah. It was a good day for me.
That is a good day.
5 for me. By the way.
Excellent, a 5.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 free invokes on that. You succeeded with style, and this is the secret truffle sauce.
truffle sauce.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, I never actually showed you what.
Comes from your piggy glands.
Oh, excellent. Okay, is sauce maybe it's a different word than sauce?
It's okay. It's fine.
I know what
You can
this
change
is.
it.
No, it's fine. We'll call it that.
Secret sauce.
It's just
know
just
what
the
secret
secret
sauce is.
ingredients.
All right.
Okay.
I've seen
what
this
are you
episode
doing?
of Futurama. I'm thinking of making a side dish. But I'm okay. So if I've already made this spicy hot sauce, right? Can I invoke it to use on top of something else if it's a different flavor?
Yeah, right now it's not like a part of the dish. This was an advantage that you created. So like you've got like prep aspect going on here.
So, but I can't use the spice to create it. I can.
Yeah,
I can do,
you can. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So if you're making it a thing on your like dish sheet, right, as like a side aspect to your dish, then you could invoke this stuff because this has been like prep aspects that you did. Unless I misunderstood that this was actually like.
No,
It was gonna be a side
It was
aspect.
going to be something that would go on top of the cakes, like a dipping sauce. Does that count as like another dish, or does that count as like something that would?
Yeah, no, that would be a dish aspect. Yeah.
Okay, because my assumption, if you get like crab cakes, some people put hot sauce on theirs.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you would,
That's what I was thinking.
as you're plating it, you're putting, I guess, some hot sauce on there. Or whatever.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood that, and it wasn't actually prep. It was a dish. A dish thing.
I was thinking it was going to be used in the plating, like as a drizzle.
Oh, okay.
Or some type
Yeah,
of-
then you could invoke this in the plating.
Okay. Okay, because I was thinking of aggressively, like, you know, that'll work. That'll be fine.
Yeah, we got more than we can use. So
Yeah, well, we have one dish, right, and then we have one side item you're going to prepare. So I'm thinking I need to make it.
We're out of. Oh right, yeah. That's right.
I
Yeah.
think we need to make a couple side dishes here. So I'm thinking then, what better would go with Kerbadgers than some radioactive weasels?
So what flavor are you thinking of invoking? I'm gonna try and do savory. That's why.
You're gonna do savory?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
thinking of doing. Well, I mean, since if the spicy venomous sauce has not been used, I could go with that. But I was originally gonna do bitter. But well, yeah, I just want to do radioactive space weasels. I'm trying to figure out how to put that together though.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna use them as like I'm gonna freeze them.
Okay.
Maybe this is a plating aspect that sounds like it could be like a,
Icy weasels?
you know, like they're like a bed of icy weasel limbs.
A bit of icy weasel claws. Yeah. Well, but I'm
The
not.
crowd is suspicious, sir.
They're like he's getting out the radioactive weasels. What's his plan with these radioactive weasels? They're putting them back. Put them back out again. Not quite frozen.
I think I'm gonna make an ice cream. Because
Yeah,
I
nice
can't have an
dessert. Yeah,
Iron
okay.
Chef
Sure.
without ice cream.
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a radioactive space weasel ice cream.
Excellent. Give me a. We'll decide what your value is.
Ice. White. Weasel cream?
Weasel cream with, by the way, little tufts of their.
Well, you guys already did cool, right?
This would be sweet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, well then
Yeah, cool is like
that's a good point.
spicy.
I don't know if I can do that.
Or you know what I mean.
Yeah, it does say it could also describe dishes that are served very cold or frozen.
Oh,
So
cool.
I think cool could be used for
Either
like,
one, yeah.
So we've already used cool.
We've already used.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. We have sweet though. I don't know why. It's like to me that would be a dessert.
The
Which
space
says
weasels are
ice cream.
spicy. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm describing this as a kind of a spiced dish.
A spice cream?
A spice cream. Oh! A spice creme fraiche. A radioactive weasel fraiche.
All right, well,
Weasel cream.
Sounds good. Roll for it.
The dipping sauce. Weasel fraiche. The hollandaise, if you will. Oh, radioactive hollandaise. Oh, shit.
And what value are you going for?
yeah. What is
I
that?
don't know if there's any meat in that.
What is the difficulty of your dish?
Well, you don't understand. I'm using the space weasels, and I'm like going. Just like have them. What are you doing to them?
Sneeze glaze.
Sneeze
Completely at a loss. What are your up to these weasels?
Do these things have udders or?
It's about squeezing their guts out. Like you do. Like a pig. You understand.
So what you do is you take the weasel tail,
The frozen
you
weasel.
firmly, it has to be frozen first, flash frozen. Then you take it out of the blast chiller, and you take the weasel tail, and after it's lightly defrosted a little bit in your hands, you lop it over the side of your shoulder, right? Then you put the rest of it underneath your armpit right here. The rest of the body? The weasel. Okay.
He flopped it over his shoulder. No, he slipped it under his arm.
But you see, I'm using the tail to kind of help lock it
Yeah,
in.
and you kind of squeeze it like a bagpipe.
Hold up. Seems like he's squeezing it like a bagpipe.
There's a proper technique to this. You have to cock it like a gun, like a shotgun. And then the body. Okay.
Those are the front legs.
Yeah, you're holding onto the front legs. And then
I'm here for it.
Go on.
you hold it into the bowl, firmly so. And just kind of like squeeze it out.
Just toothpaste it.
Yeah, just rolling it. You're rolling it.
Guts and bones and teeth and
Well, everything's been like frozen and like just being broken up into this weird mucousy gelatinous mess. And
God, that was awful to hear.
Okay, how hard is this? What's your difficulty and what's the flavor?
oh, this is 5, and this flavor is oh god, that's what the flavor is. Oh god. What I went with. Pretty sure I went. You know what? It's bitter. It's just
Okay.
bitter. Oh shit.
That is not sweet. That is so
It's got some. It's pretty sweet too,
So 2
but I would say more savory, more savory.
plus the cool, which is 2.
Or
and then-
bitter.
For bitter, sorry, 2 for bitter, and then the difficulty was 5 because it's the highest we can go, right? And then I also want to invoke underdog. I think.
Excellent. Yeah, they're like, we're not really sure where he's going with this radioactive weasel under his arm. And then it's like, he's making our clothes with it. He's at the sneeze
Oh shit! I gotta write that down.
Awesome sense. That's all it is. That was incredible.
Glaze. Value 5. Flavor awesome. Bitter. Much like that space weasel was. It's glowing, by the way.
Yes,
It's a glowing sneeze
gentle
glaze.
radioactive glow. All right, and then back to the many legs
Round 4.
for the last round.
Lots of legs.
Limbs. There's a massive timer, digital timer that's ticking down, and they're like 15, 14, 13. Yeah.
All right, I want to set you up with a advantage, and then you play.
Sure.
Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the advantage, what I want to do is I want to take some more of this blue spine apple, and slice it vertically, and pull the whatever the core part out, so that it makes kind of the volcano effect. And I'm gonna scoop up some of this oil from the ground and pour it in there and light it on fire to give it the blue spine apple volcano.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's my challenge level to create a aspect?
You're creating a advantage.
Yeah.
It's usually, I think it's 1 for the first one, and then it goes up. So I think you've done 1 already, right?
Yeah, I think he did an advantage early on.
Yeah, so it'll just be a 2.
Okay. And I am doing this
Yep, a 2.
carefully. So I had a total of a 2.
Awesome.
Cool. Excellent. And this is a.
You want me to write it down?
Yeah.
Card here.
This is, what do you think?
I mean, I'm probably gonna.
Spine apple volcano.
Pineapple volcano. Perfect. He's got the spine apple. He's caught the spine apple. It's on fire. It's on fire.
So I quickly move the Spineapple volcano onto the plate. I use some of the Crabadger claws to stab them into the volcano carefully. I take the crab, deep fried Crabadger raccoon, or rangoon.
Crabadger raccoon. This is a whole other creature.
Put it on a nice pile to one side and drizzle this blue spineapple sweetness, all around the plate.
Yes.
Beautiful. And then we light the fire. And is this I guess this plating is
This is the plating, yeah.
and then just crack the brittle over top, and when it falls gracefully onto the plate and hits the fire, it just sparks even more.
Yeah, like sparkle.
So much flavor. And obviously I'm using flashy.
It's our own pyrotechnics.
I think you still need to do a.
Value.
Yeah, you still need to do a flavor aspect.
Oh, still have to use a flavor for plating? How interesting. That seems weird.
I think so.
It does seem strange.
I figured it'd be a reality approach.
Me too.
Well, they say the dish might be served atop a savory pyramid, or served atop a savory pyramid of purple parsley, or have a sweet dusting of Gorgo sugar around
Oh, I
the
see.
rim.
This is not about the. Oh, okay.
It is about the presentation, but it also is like a last ingredient. Yeah.
We'll do. We'll save the Spineapple volcano ends up being the savory element of the dish. That seems right for bone.
Okay.
Yeah, the marrow is leaking out of this spine apple, and as it like just flows down.
Yes.
The disgusting plate we've made. 2, 4, 5.
You made a savory and
I'm about to make a savory.
Okay.
But yeah, and then the truffles were the cake.
I'm gonna call that
cakes are cool.
the plating is.
So we got bitter.
And then we've got. Well, I don't know if that counts as a flavor or not.
Apparently I have not used spicy yet, so I'm about to plate that with that hot sauce.
Bone marrow leak.
Yes.
Leaky bone marrow.
All right, and since you guys are done, I want you guys to break character for a second. One of you be chosen to do this, but you're gonna have to break character for a second and be the announcer who's like describing it in the elegant, right? They're like, I served atop a bed of like, give me the be prepared to deliver the whole dish, right?
Okay.
With all of its descriptors and all of it like side aspects and the plating and whatnot.
Yes.
In like a description of it, right? As if you're an announcer delivering it. So think about that. But yeah. So that was Team Many Limbs finished up, and Team Truffle Troopers, your last turn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a side dish as a sautéed garlic and onion seaweed with salt and pepper and special.
And the special
And the
sauce.
special.
Perfect.
We should note that the seaweed is not spelled S-E-A, it's S-E-E because there's eyeballs throughout the whole
That's correct.
thing.
Yeah.
So it's colloquially known as seaweed.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna. I'm gonna use my secret sauce as one of my, a bonus there. And let's see, what do I have? I have a 2 on savory. Let's see. 1.
Nice.
Was it 3?
And I see you're going for a 5.
Yes, I am going for a 5. I wrote that down. Yeah, so that would be plus 2, 4, and then 2 for savory, right? So 6.
Excellent.
And then it's one of these, yeah?
Yep.
About deep blue Rangoon.
Deep blue Rangoon.
And that's all you need to know for that, right?
Yep.
Okay. What happens if you fail making a dish?
Making a dish aspect.
Yeah.
I think it just doesn't count.
Yeah.
Oh, like I
because the
try to make a
volcano.
side, but I don't make a side. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and it's like a turn that's basically wasted, right?
Yeah.
Bluvius.
Bluvius
Bobble.
Just like it's so far away from the original thing that you have no idea anymore. Bluvius.
Okay.
How did you arrive at Bluvius?
All right, Taylor, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to be plating.
Or I should say,
Congliature.
I will be addressed as Lord Congliator,
Sorry,
or I shall destroy you and your entire race!
that's my dishes if you need them for plating.
Okay, so we've got truffle, double trouble, crabadger cake. We got sauteed garlic and onion seaweed
Yeah.
with salt and pepper. Oh, going a little out on the limb there with the salt and pepper.
salt and pepper.
Well, I'm just saying it sets it off, okay?
Plus the the glowing sneeze glaze. So I think that what I'm gonna do is
You guys are like, I'm doing the last little plating bits, and the audience is just roaring, and you can just feel like the
so I've
stand
actually
shaking.
run off of the area arena, and I'm like helping people like to wheel in this giant solid block of like marble, no obsidian, and they brought it in there, and then I basically create like a destructo disc, and then I just start carving through, creating plates and cutlery from scratch from this like dense matter, like the densest of dark matter that's out there. It's not even obsidian. So I'm just cutting through, and while I'm at it, I also make like a little statue of like our 2 competitors over here, and then also of the chairman. And so after I finish doing that, I stand over to look at our two, Gregory and Valvita. And I like get them. I try to like get their attention, and then when they finally look over, I like
Gregory never looked. Gregory never looked. Sorry. Either
way, I'm like slowly destructiveness, and then no, not even actually. I'm just kind of sitting there, and the just and just slices through just their heads, but not the chairman.
Yes.
So I just have their heads like sitting there on plates, by the way. And then next to that is the actual dish where I'll start plating.
All right. Go ahead and roll and add your. And this is spicy.
This is spicy.
Because it's the sauce. The sauce plays.
Yeah.
We brought it back together.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it is. I made it when I carved it. They have their mouths open, and I've like dripped the sauce in. That's where you like blood.
That's the
It's also
blood.
the blood that's coming out
Perfect.
to the dipping sauce.
From the spicy venomous hot sauce.
Dang. Okay, so I got a 7 on that. Then I'm using the spicy venomous hot sauce.
Dang. All right. Yeah.
Need an
Seed.
invoke.
Do you have to set a difficulty for your plating?
5. I mean, there's no higher we can go.
Yeah. You set a difficulty for each
Well, yeah.
thing.
But that sounded really complicated for a 5.
I know.
I got the announcer thing.
I got the name.
All right.
You okay?
Yeah. Write down your description of that, and you guys start. Choose one of you guys who wants to deliver this in your best announcer voice. This is the sophisticated announcer, right? He's like, this is on a band of lettuce served with a Grecian style.
Sure. I'll dog show it.
Yeah, do it.
You can go. You want?
And the buzzer goes off, the lights dim, and then there's like a super like smoky camera, like the camera is up close on your guys' dishes and is like slowly rotating around the table, and they have this like very smoky lighting on it and everything, and it's shown up on the big screen as the announcer is describing it in great detail. Who wants to deliver their description of their dish?
You want to go? One sec.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'll do it. I'm trying to think. How do you start that? It's been so long since I've seen those things.
You could just read it in the order that appears on your sheet of like Crabadger.
Oh, I really just actually what I really want to do is I want to like invite Chef Morimoto to like come up to like the judges table, and then it's like when he starts speaking, it's not even him; it's the translator for him. It like does overdubbed.
I don't know what you're talking about. like someone from the audience, or
Oh no! So Chef Morimoto is one of the Iron Chef.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and like when he goes up and describes
Have you
to the
gone over the
judges, they always have someone
but
who
it's
like
like in
overdubs for him.
type.
Yeah, he like
So
refuses to have
that's
someone
that's how I
dub
know.
it.
Which is like.
So I guess it could be me that goes up there, my
bottom of the plate
character,
is, like,
but
got
someone
this
overdubs for me.
like preserves on it, and then the
what I
rain dunes kind
prepared
of look
for
like
you,
sails,
tonight
like ships
is the
underneath a volcano
these
boiling.
truffle
so it's
double
kind of like,
or
I don't know,
truffle
like
double
sails
trouble
over the sea or
Crabadger
something
cake
like that.
with
Yeah,
cucumber
that's good.
and
Something evoking that.
Crabadger. What is it called? Garnishes on the side. You will find that the very cool aspect of the double trouble crab cake is very subtle, but quite exquisite. As a side, we also have served sautéed garlic and onion with seaweed with
It's such an abstract name. It's great.
salt and pepper. You'll find that the savory aspect will assuredly be paired well with the Crabadger flavor. We hope that you will enjoy it.
Right, talk about the
On
spicy hot. Talk about the spicy hot. Let's talk about the spicy hot sauce.
Getting to it!
If you do not shut up, you fool, I shall destroy you!
Served on the side is a radioactive glowing sneeze glaze, which will bring out an excellent bitter flavor to tie in all of the ingredients together. This has all been plated on on what is colloquially known as a death to our enemies style plating. It's been
Colloquially.
it's been handcrafted from dark matter to create these plates, along with a statue of our chairman. Feel free to dip the crab cakes into the mouths of our enemies, for there they have the spicy, venomous hot sauce that has been prepared for you. Please be careful, as too much venomous hot sauce will kill you.
Lovely.
Please enjoy.
That sounds delicious.
Perfect. Excellent delivery.
Oh, I should have talked about how it would paralyze your innards. Oh well. It's
All right, many limbs. Deliver your. And from the many limb.
Do you have a name for it?
I think you had it.
Okay, yeah.
Many limbs pieced days, known as the white sails over the blue seas. A creamy double deep fried rangoon sails on a fruity sea of blue pineapple preserves, while poison stalk brittle glaze pours from a sweet volcano centerpiece, mimicking Velveeta's watery home planet.
That's it.
the watery planet thing is not even true. They're just like made
I'm just making it up. It's all made up, man.
It's actually magma.
Yeah. Well, it's magma from the volcano pouring into the sea of blue pineapple preserves.
All right, I'm gonna roll for a random judge to see who is judging this, but I lost my table.
Also, that's the voice that I always do when I'm making a blue apron. When Shannon and I are cooking blue aprons at home, because the one side is all like the ingredients and like how to cook it, and the other side is like a picture and the stuff that you need, and then a little description that is very much like these. So I'll always go in and ask Shannon like, so what shall we be cooking tonight? And then do that stupid voice.
Nice.
Or when I present it to her, I'll be like, tonight we're having.
That's very similar to my Primark voice, except my Primark's voice is more like.
He's angrier.
Primark?
Yeah.
Primark?
All right, who wants to roll for the judge? 3. Hapax Legomenon. Whoa. Who
I hate this guy.
they draw randomly from the they like all the people seated here all have like a random chance of being picked. And this character, I believe, is a retired warlord. Let me get you guys the picture of him. Next week I'll have all these images pulled up into the overlay, but
It's Chairman Nalu.
yeah, this guy.
He's a judge?
Yeah.
I think we'd get along.
He is a conqueror turned food critic, so.
Okay, he might be my rival then.
All right.
Also my future goals.
So this is how this works. You guys just presented your dish. Let me get back to the.
Conquered the quadrant, now I must conquer the kitchen.
Sorry, 1 second.
That's my line.
All right, each chef presents their dish. You described it, the cooking process, the philosophy. Now we tally up the value of the dish's main aspect, its plating aspect, and any side aspects. If a dish aspect has 1 free invoke, it's worth points equal to its value. I have not been mentioning that, but every time you guys have succeeded, it's got a free invoke. Because I don't understand quite why. Yeah, I won't get into it, but so whatever the values are, and then each dish aspect without, Oh, because I guess you could be succeeding. You could be using turns to put more invokes on any of the previous things, so you're like making them worth even more points, which is kind of weird. Like the value doesn't increase, but you're putting more invokes on it. I don't know. We'll get in some other time. All right. So, which is going first? Which of the dishes is this guy? comes up.
Are we rolling?
Comes up to the podium. Well,
Well, yeah.
Hand him the sneeze glaze.
Yeah, but I'm happy to present the truffles double troubled crabbager cake.
Pronounce their own drink, fools.
all right. So whatever, add up all your value, and then I am rolling.
Legend of Wolf. That's perfect. Fantastic. I never know if you're talking to them or your other person.
Yeah. It just depends on which way my head's turned.
I did not roll well. What? All right. So whatever your value is of
you have that
all your
paper?
things.
I'm just gonna, well, how many?
5, and then there's a third one on this one that's also 5. So we have
20?
yeah, we have 20.
Okay, yeah. Because you have the crabbager.
We have the crabbager, we have the seaweed,
Yeah.
and we also have the sneeze glaze, and then our plating, which was
Okay, so
Yeah,
20, and I rolled a -3, so that is 17. Then
So he liked it.
he might have his favorite flavor. Let's see. Contestants may
I like
invoke
that the
aspects on the
judging
judge.
introduces a random element too, so
Yeah.
there won't necessarily be a tie.
Yeah.
That's I was wondering.
That's what I was wondering
curious
too.
about
I was like,
this.
we're just gonna end up with all
It feels like
the same number of plates.
Okay,
and
cool.
that's good. I like this, and the judge has like a secret like favorite flavor that'll probably like modify their roll or something.
And then when you're doing like a big competition, there will be multiple judges, so it'll introduce.
Interesting. Fate meets math.
Yeah, it is kind of weirdly mathy, but I think it's hilarious. All right, so his favorite flavor is bitter. So if you guys have a bitter flavor on there,
that was your
sneeze glaze.
your sneeze glaze, yeah.
Sneeze glaze, bro. I knew it. I knew he was gonna love that sneeze glaze.
so he says, "Oh, this sneeze glaze is delicious." So that adds 2.
Does he have a flavor he hates?
He does.
Okay.
His dislike is he likes things that are good. This would be better if only it was good and not great.
Yeah, he doesn't like
He
the
hates main aspects with a value of 4 or 5. So your like and your dislike
I
cancels
love
out.
that. He's got like mediocre taste buds.
So I think
Fantastic.
So I think you guys are at a 17 then total, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I
Because
guess
those
so.
2 canceled out, and I rolled a -3, and you had a 20.
Right.
So
So
you
that
guys
will
are
be
at
the
a
same for
17.
us. So whatever you roll,
It's
will
pretty
be
much
the same.
Yeah, we have bitter and it's a
And the
5.
5, okay.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
This sneeze, I might take this and have something be sneezing into my mouth every meal from now forward.
Ooh, I rolled a little bit better for you guys. I rolled a +1. Yeah. And you guys also had the 20. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
21.
18?
Nice. 21. But yeah, that is kind of funny because it's based largely on the dice roll.
Well, victory to the superior team.
I knew it all along.
And the crowd roars in joy, and they dice up the the 2 dishes that you guys have prepared and like make little samples, and bring one of the larger samples obsequiously up to Chairwoman Malu.
Yes.
And I think I might have her judge it independently.
Ooh, do it. Did we used cool, bitter, sweet, and savory? What'd y'all use?
We used
Learn how to shuffle.
spicy, savory, cool, and bitter.
So the difference was
small.
It's really hard.
savory and spicy.
Just did it a
guess
couple
so.
times, but
Actually, she tastes each
So small.
and does a sagely nod and then stands and takes the napkin out from her vest and throws it down, and then just walks out of the place. And her security, her retinue of security follow out with her. However, during the celebrations, as you guys are getting paid out for competitions and whatnot and lauded, one of them approaches you with a business card that is made of dark matter.
Ooh.
And hands one to each of you, and it just says Chairwoman Malu on it, and then on the back it has a destination in space and a time and a date that you've been requested.
Ooh.
Nice.
So we'll get our revenge. We'll get our third shot.
Yes, and I'll get my laser disconjointment surgery.
That's 3 out of 5.
If you want to be split in half, all you had to do was ask.
Yes, and thus ends the tutorial
This seems
session.
reasonable.
Episode 0. Next week we'll start with the actual reality show component. You guys will be on Uranium Chef and be doing a bit of that, and I think we'll fill in some stunts and stuff early on. But since we've got like the majority of it all on the page, it'll be easy to kind of dive in.
Now that I've seen it, I'll much more easily be able to create some stunts.
Agreed.
Yeah. I feel like it, and I can also have a list, because they have like one page that they're like, here's some examples, but then also check out all the like pre-generated characters for other examples, so I can just pull that all together. And you guys can look at them and tweak them. But
I don't really know how stunts work in Accelerated versus.
It's very similar, and they have some custom ones. Their idea is like you're immune to certain like sabotage aspects. Like the lobster guy is like, you know, he can't be sabotaged by like having missing utensils or whatever. He always has the right utensils. Or like, you know, you get a +2 to like cool approaches for like plating things because you have like a freeze blast ray or something like that.
Yeah, so it would need to be for like not just the flavor but also for the like if it's a main dish or a side or something, because that's the other limitation that there needs to be.
Yeah. Typically, stunts are a +2 at a particular approach with a particular situation.
Gotcha.
Right. Let me pull them up.
I could see this being very fun with different kitchen arenas.
Yeah.
Like ones that are like straight on, so that are like a row where you have to pass through each other's zones to get there.
Yeah.
Or like
Overcooked.
or like there's like barriers in your way, or that like they're actually, you know, for 6 people this would have been really crowded.
Yeah.
For 4, you know, we could pretty much kind of step out into another zone, but
And when you guys compete, there will also be an NPC contestant, right?
Yeah.
The house chef that you'll be kind of competing against.
Oh yes.
Which is always going to be Chef Morimoto.
Yeah. And this was just like a single dish, and so other times it'll be like you need to create multiple dishes with the secret ingredient kind of thing. So then you're also balancing this, like who's working on what dish and whether you're sabotaging. And if the judges are revealed, then you can also use a turn to like figure out aspects of the judge.
likes.
So you can like spy on them or woo them or
play the judge's taste.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I can see this getting really interesting.
Yeah. So we'll get more into that. And this is also really simple. I didn't do like any twists or any kind of weird stuff.
You did do the one attack, but like
that was just throwing something in there, but
this is something to think about for sure, that things can be attacking you, that like you can't just solely like envision your plate. You've got to be worrying about other things.
The good news is, if the crowd hates it and starts throwing vegetables, we just cook.
You just use the vegetables. You just make lemons into lemonade.
Yeah, you just create it in the end.
Super cool.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us on Thursday for some GMXP, and next Friday, same time, same place, for some more Uranium Chef.
Sneeze weasels.
I'm having issues again.
Hold the pose.
Hold it.